Hey everybody, we are back with another episode of the Nintendo Pipeline Podcast. This week we had our big February Nintendo Direct, so of course we're going to have a big episode talking about it. I'm CMM, I'm your host today, and with me I have...
I'm Jared, also known as One Up Muffin on the Discord.
I'm James, known as nothing else.
And then we have two special guests this week, if you could introduce
Wow.
yourselves.
Hi, I'm Mina, also known as Mina.
And hi, I'm Poochy,
Welcome.
also known as Poochy.
Good. I'm glad. So we've got a lot to cover this week. We've been kind of waiting on this for a long time, and it was pretty
So
big.
strap in.
Yeah, so strap in, basically. Strap in,
Th-
bitches.
Buckle
This
up,
direct,
baby.
it brought me back to my old self that I had locked away. I was like, I'm so beyond direct speculation is what I thought. And then like in the months leading up to this direct, I was like, oh my god, direct. I was like, what happened?
I actually had my Switch hovering over the garbage can before this direct, but I had to fish it out.
The dust it was collecting.
I mean, I heard from a certain Arlo that the future of the Switch depended on this direct.
And we have another special guest for this episode.
No, that's banned. So
That's rude.
So let's just say we start here, and the first game that we see is Pikmin 4. We got some new stuff on that. Ice Pikmin, the dog, Ochi. Is that's
Ochi.
Ochi.
I thought it looked great. I mean, I'm not a Pikmin person, but I thought it looked very pretty.
Do you think you could become a Pikmin person?
Yeah, I am. Actually, I lied. I am a Pikmin person already. I play Pikmin Bloom, the only Pikmin game.
Okay, all right.
Our 2022 game of the year, by the way.
I will say this Pikmin game looks a little more actiony, so maybe it'll have enough speed to get you on board. Pretty darn fun.
In my head, Pikmin 3 was like Pikmin 1 modernized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like Pikmin 2 modernized. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
you see the
the
dungeons.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're on a time crunch this time because I mean your ship is not broken, right? Your ship is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that way, yeah.
So
They look like-
it feels like it's like okay, here's the things you liked about Pikmin 2, but here in a modern way, and obviously they have a lot of new ideas. Everyone is here, right? We didn't let go of any. Pikmin
Everyone
this
is
time.
here.
Purple and white Pikmin. Them coming back is like a bigger deal than any Smash character coming back, quite frankly.
Yeah. We also have a day and night cycle.
I mean that's huge.
Pretty awesome.
You can go at night. You've never been able to go at night.
It's like Dying Light now, where like at night, like the Pikmin monsters get like furious.
I feel like that was Pokemon Legends.
Mine went to zombie games.
I feel like that was always like the one big fan thing. Like, oh, what could they do for a new Pikmin game? Have you explore at night? Because it's a cool idea.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It inherently is.
It's like the obvious thing to do.
But the funny thing is, you said it's obvious, and it never crossed my mind. I was like, oh, it really did take me aback. I was like, oh, whoa, like we're not supposed to be here, So it was a good closing bit for that trailer.
Yeah.
I like the crazy red eyes.
In general, I thought the trailer was very good, though. Like it made it feel like the game is real. Because, like, rewind back to the September Direct. Like we just got a logo, right? We got a logo and we got an
a
image.
Couple of screenshots.
And those screenshots, many people claimed there's no way the Switch could run on this.
We've been hearing that for years. And it's always funny.
Yeah, I mean, even like when Monster Hunter Rise was coming out, people were saying that shit, right?
Yeah.
But it was just like, there's no way the Switch could run this. This has to be Switch Pro footage. This has to be Switch 2 footage. And it's like, no, surprise, Nintendo, like most developers, as they get more experience with the hardware, they're able to make more impressive games for that same hardware. They're able to get more out of what they have, right?
Nintendo has always been able to get amazing stuff out of their systems. I mean,
there's a game.
The answer to that is yes, but also like people's brains have been poisoned by like 4 Pokemon games in a row that kind of look and run questionably.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Pokemon has done a bad job of making people think that that's all the Switch is capable of, right? But clearly, no. Like, this thing can do more. And
I mean,
Also,
there's a game we'll be talking about later on that looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
I heard it only runs on Switch 2.
I like the camera angle in the new Prime a lot. I like being able to, or the new Pikmin.
Wow, spoilers.
Being able to see the sky and stuff. It's very pretty.
You know, it's very stupid, but like my brain sees the over the shoulder camera and I go ambition. You know.
So is that what you said when you saw the new God of War for the first time?
Oh yeah.
Bar.
It's a cinematic camera angle. You know, this is Pikmin for grown-ups. Okay.
This is Pikmin for adults. The other Pikmin were for little babies.
Mm-hmm. I like the environment they showed so far, which kind of looks like a backyard. My brain immediately goes Chibi Robo because it's like you know, like that miniature, like you know.
When I
like
saw the house in the background, I thought Sim Ant.
Yeah, that's
and I
what
was like,
thought
"Are we
too.
gonna get in that house?"
I think of like
You're gonna
house.
run the people out of that house.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll think of like Chibi Robo, or I'll think of Katamari in terms of like you being a small thing in a large space. I guess Mr. Mosquito, if you really want to.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's
Go
the
Legend
somewhere.
of Zelda,
our
the
fans were
Minish
looking for.
Cap.
Yeah, we don't talk about that game. No.
I guess I'll be the downer here because I'm optimistic about it, but I don't know. There's something about it feels off to me, and that something is the dog.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Now,
Let me tell you why you're wrong before you even say anything.
Damn.
Okay. It's just a big Pikmin. It's the perfect evolution to Pikmin. Here's one special Pikmin that you know.
Then I think it should be a Pikmin and not a dog.
No, because you don't want to make one Pikmin feel special. You know?
Yeah, you do. You absolutely
Yeah, it's gonna go extinct if you let it die.
I wonder if the dog can like be knocked out, or if it's just like kind of part of you.
He seems like a very much a constant companion.
There is no way the dog can die. If the dog can die, that would be obscene.
I think the dog,
there is a clip in the trailer where.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
There is a clip in the trailer where the dog is like flipped over, I think. So probably get like stunned and put out of commission.
I'm guessing you have to
animal cruelty.
Maybe the way they balance it is like the like to get it back, you have to carry it back to the ship or something. Like maybe that's how they balance the dog.
Yeah. I just don't want the dog to be like too strong, so you like rely on it for like everything.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to have the strength of 10. Is that what it looked like?
It's equal to 10 Pikmin.
Yeah, see, that's
sure
just,
they'll balance
I don't
it
know.
well.
Yeah,
I just feel like it looks lame. I like this probably just boomer brain, and I'll accept it if it is. But it's like when I think of Pikmin, I think about a couple little guys running around with a bunch of vegetables. The
dog is not a vegetable.
The dog is like
the
a
dog
really
is not a
weird
vegetable.
thing. It is thematically strange.
Yeah,
and I don't care, and I'm not sure I'm going to care for it from a gameplay standpoint.
I'll say
they should have made the dog a vegetable.
I'll say this. I'm probably the only person who thinks this, but I thought the dog looked kind of weird.
No, I think it's supposed to be ugly,
about its
cute.
face. It's
I
kind
think
of
it looks
ugly.
funny.
I mean, Pikmin at its core is ugly cute. You know, like a yokai. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like Ochi kind of fits that Pikmin aesthetic, right? Where it's cute, but it's also ugly. I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, it has an ugly face.
I like it a lot.
You know what Ochi reminds me of?
What
does it remind you of?
Poochy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's incorrect.
Even a similar name, right?
Because Poochy is like, you know, perfection.
I really like Ochi.
Yeah,
hey, and we have the Poochy expert right here, so she has shut you down.
Exactly.
That's true. Well,
We'll see.
Nothing else to say about that then, I guess.
Well, one last thing I want to touch on, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The release date. I think that release date is excellent. I don't know if anyone expected it this summer. Did you guys?
I was expecting it like September.
I didn't really think about when it was going to come out, but it's a wild year for the Nintendo Switch console.
I mean, summer makes more sense than anything else, really.
Yeah, it's not going to be the big holiday game. We can speculate on that later.
Yeah, I figured like maybe June or around that time, so like that fits.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because we just had seen nothing in September, you know. So it was like, I mean, who knows, you know? And then it's like, oh, boom, it's a real game. It's out in July. Here you go. I was impressed.
But that's kind of typical for them, though, and I guess it's kind of weird that they didn't like even put a season on it back in September.
Yeah, they made it seem like something that might be able to be pushed, like.
Right.
It was like, you know, like when Tears of the Kingdom first was announced for 2022, no one fucking believed that. Right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, wait. Let's back up a second. Remember when Mina thought that Tears of the Kingdom was going to be out in 2020?
I don't recall such a thing personally.
No, I'm just playing. But yes, yeah, it definitely seemed like, I don't know. I could have seen it. I could have seen Pikmin 4 in like September. I could have seen Pikmin 4 in May. I could have seen Pikmin 4 basically whenever.
You could have seen Pikmin 4 in May?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
early.
That'd be like the earliest, but like, you know, just like in terms of like where it would eventually fall, I didn't really have much of an idea as to what their thinking was on it.
I will say I very much want to play Pikmin 4. I think this is one of the best trailers in the direct of
very
just
much
getting me on board with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we had Xenoblade 3 DLC, which I don't care about. How about everyone else?
I haven't played through Xenoblade 3 yet, but
pass on this for me.
But Chad Rex was there, and that's all. That's what I'm talking
Chad
about.
Rex
baby.
is really funny. It is just
hilarious.
So funny.
Really funny.
He's got Mithra's sword in one hand and Pyrrhus sword in the other, dude. He's dual wielding his wives.
He's got a little goatee too.
He's dual wielding his wives. That's crazy.
That is Chad energy.
Can I say just one thing though?
Hot, dude.
One serious thing. I hope it's as good as Torna. That's all I want from this. I hope it's as good as Torna. But otherwise, hilarious.
Because
Torna was a really good expansion pass. Its combat was really good and refined, and I mean the whole game was like a much more refined and condensed version of Xenoblade 2 as a whole, and did that really well.
I guess we'll see, because Torna didn't like really lean on fan service as much as this is probably going to
this
be
one's
able
crazy, right? To have Shulk and Rex, and it's just like fucking everyone is here once again, like Christ.
And
it's kind of like the game I didn't expect, or it's like what I expected them not to do with Xenoblade 3, which they clearly didn't. Where the connections are there, but they're not like a huge deal.
And now it's like it's what the DLC is just all about now.
Yeah, it's like the front and center of the experience.
Yeah.
Torna was a standalone expansion as well. I'm curious if like this one will be similarly.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
I feel like selling a standalone will only be if they feel like they can, like, collectors of Xenoblade are just really gonna want a physical version, right?
Yeah.
I do have.
Otherwise, like, this is not meant for newcomers. Like, clearly,
Yeah. I do have a feeling like, Torna, you shouldn't play it before 2, but you could.
You theoretically could, right?
You theoretically could, but this, based on everything we've seen, you're gonna want to have to play at least 1 and 2, probably 3.
I mean, even because Noah's
3
older.
yet.
Noah looks older than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that this is going to be a very like a high amount of commitment needed to understand what is going on at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it reads as like this is the last piece of Xenoblade media you should play in the order
ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ever again.
Well, they've talked about making a Xenoblade 4 after this, so.
Yeah, I just mean like in the current release, like what's out there and what you need to play to maybe fully get the experience out of it. You're gonna want to play Xeno 1. You're gonna want to play the Future Connected. You're gonna want to play 2. You want to play Torna. You want to play 3. Like it's like the last in the story order. So have fun with that.
Great to see.
Next
game.
It
looked cool.
It did.
That's all I can say from it.
Next game is one of my happy surprises, Samba de Amigo. Party Central. I'm so happy. Samba is a blast, and the Wii version was a little bit of a letdown because it wasn't the most accurate. I mean, I think they didn't use Motion Plus for that one, so like the inputs.
There's only so much an accelerometer can do, right?
Yeah. So a proper system for replicating the maracas goes a long way here. I didn't think they would actually make another after what happened with the Wii version. I don't know how that version performed. But I do like the new like customization stuff. The online stuff is fine. Like I could care less, but it's nice to see them putting in like a real effort for a new Samba de Amigo.
It's cool to see, but it's such a weird looking game.
Oh, it is a bizarre looking game. Even compared to regular Samba de Amigo, like they made things look more, I don't want to say realistic. I feel like that's the wrong word.
It looks off-putting.
But he's wearing like normal clothes, and like the characters look more uniform, I guess. And then you have like that weird indoor, like I don't know, like I think Samba de Amigo, I think like the loudest like reds and greens outside, and like everything is super exaggerated, and like the faces still are, but like the clothes that they're wearing that you can unlock are like normal people clothes. It feels weird seeing him in like in a disco getup or something. But
I'm really scared to play this game though, because it's got that love tester. What if it says me and my partner are not compatible? You know,
that's true. What if I play the love tester with my sister and we're really compatible?
Oh, geez, that's be awful.
Clay, why? Why would you go there?
Tomodachi Life did. I couldn't set her as my sister in that game, and it tried to get us engaged multiple times. It's like, no, not happening. Please,
to be clear, Clay's
again.
objection was not the fact that it was his sister, it's the fact that he was gay.
Yeah, that's what it was actually. Yeah, that was the biggest issue, right? They were so unrealistic.
Big Clay reveal.
Yeah.
Podcast exclusive.
The Samba de Amigo monkey kind of looks like a Funko Pop.
Don't say
that. How dare you?
Please don't say that.
I'm sorry.
I don't like how Samba de Amigo looks, the character.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna
get out of here.
From
a little
this
off-putting.
I mean, I can understand how he's a little off-putting. This game, he just kind of looks weird because everything around him doesn't look as weird.
He looks like a Funko Pop.
I didn't hear...
That's alive.
I didn't hear Samba, the Samba theme song in there, which made me a little sad. I'm sure it'll be there, but like...
Hey, I listen to the Samba theme song every day of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Motherfucking
style
savvy.
Oh my god, this is my game of the direct. Like,
all right,
for real. Honest to God. Fuck Tears of the Kingdom, fuck whatever else, you know, is this game. I have been waiting for Style Savvy to show up on Switch so badly. I love the 3DS game I played. I played the third game. I don't remember what it's called, but I liked it, is the point. And I've been waiting for an HD one for so long. I am a bit disappointed in Nintendo, because Nintendo did not want to publish this game, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they did not want to, like, do Style Savvy. That's how it reads to me, is like, well, they weren't interested in doing Style Savvy, so Marvelous was like, hey, you can do Style Savvy, just call it something else.
Yeah, and clearly they're on good terms with Sophia still, because, you know, they gave them a premium spot in the direct and all.
Yeah.
But that aside, I am just, either way, Style Savvy 5 in all but name is getting made. And that's exciting to me.
Why would Nintendo not want to make it, though? I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, I don't know if they don't want, like, overly feminine games for their brand because they're stupid or something. I don't know.
I wonder.
I mean, it's never stopped them before.
I know,
weird stuff.
But I don't know. I don't really get them. It's strange to me why they would abandon one of their strongest partners. And these games sell well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's like 3 of them that are million sellers. So it's not even a fucking failing franchise or anything.
Yeah. I just know that, like, sadly, the new name is nowhere near as good as Style Savvy.
No, I can't remember the name Fashion Dreamer. I'm like, fashion, it's fashion.
Yeah.
It's fashion.
Everyone's just going to call it Style Savvy anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
It's kind of weird disappointing how many of Nintendo's 3DS era partners they just kind of abandoned. Alpha Dream, Skip, Sin Sophia. At least Sin Sophia didn't die, unlike the other two.
It's weird. As soon as I looked at it, I'm like, oh, is someone like making basically like before we knew what it was Sin Sophia, I was like, oh, it's Style Savvy. Someone else is making Style Savvy.
Yeah, then, how soon did you clock that it was gonna be Sin Sophia? Because it felt like
immediately. I thought it was Style Savvy.
I said, we were voice chatting
with
a few of people, and I said Style Savvy immediately.
Yeah, it just looked like Style Savvy.
And then they were like, Fashion Dreamer. I'm like, oh. So someone
also, that's like a really like Mina said, very prime spot in the Direct.
It got a lengthy segment for sure. You know.
Yeah. I just wish that they kept it Style Savvy, I guess. I mean, I'm glad that it got to be made at all.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking like it sucks that Nintendo didn't pick it up, but hey, we're still getting the game, so yay.
I also audibly giggled at the Animal Crossing New Horizons clothing selection screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it really does look like that.
It was like, oh, okay. I'm not complaining.
That's identical.
Yeah.
The Fashion Dreamer world is interesting.
It's so like, yeah, it's like
it's all about influencers
abstract.
This time. You're styling up influencers.
Makes sense.
Which that makes sense.
Can I sabotage the influencers? that's the gameplay I'm ready for. So we had a couple of other small things coming up next. Dead Cells has that Return to Castlevania DLC, which I actually really think looks neat, and I would I'd prefer to just play that and not the rest of Dead Cells.
I think Castlevania items make for fun little roguelike items, like
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
like I would buy it as a standalone thing if like that were a thing. I know it's like a paid DLC.
I mean, you'd probably like Dead Cells.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I haven't gotten to it yet. Like, I think I would like it too, but I just mean like it looked so appealing.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
Even just by itself, yeah.
Yeah. We had the Tron story game thing. It was the thing.
Yeah, no interest in that. It's cool if they're making it. I just don't care.
But let me tell you what I am happy to see, and that is the return of Ghost Trick. Ghost Trick is so good.
I'm so excited to be able to yell at people to play the game now. Because I already do that. Yeah. But they're always like, but it's not on Switch, so I can't play it. Now I can be like, bitch, it's on Switch.
It's not on the right system. Video games cease to exist after a new system comes out.
I want to try this. Like, I finally got Ace Attorney, and I played most of it. I still need to finish a little bit of the first one. But
this game is
Ghost Trick is here too now.
It's such a neat game. I need to go back and like I don't remember where I left off in it because I didn't finish it, but like I really liked what I played of it. It's kind of a weird like I know because you know the game's origin is on DS as a dual screen game, and then I think they did a mobile port as well, which benefits from like a portrait orientation. So like this one has like the letterboxing on the sides to make it still like vertical, I guess.
Yeah, don't love the letterboxing, but you know.
But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. If that's how we're gonna get it, I'm fine with it. The game is super fun. I would recommend anyone try it out. I know there was some smoke going around that we were getting a Ghost Trick, like HD remaster or whatever you want to call it. But I'm glad to see it actually like pan out.
Do we have a price on that? I assume it'll be 30 like the Ace Attorneys, but
no, we don't actually have a price on it yet.
30 would be a lot.
Really? I think 30 is a great price.
30 would be
fine. The mobile version is $10, so like
but that's because no one pays for things on mobile. You have to like really beg people to buy a game on mobile. You know,
that's true.
I hope they have a mode on Switch where you can like rotate it and it's like the full like vertical.
You want the dual screens?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
You want to play it with your flip grip?
I would love to play this with flip grip actually. Is this on other platforms as well?
Yes.
Okay. I
think it's on every platform.
I think it's on PlayStation and Steam. Obviously not Xbox because LOL.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Talking about the system that the Ace Attorney trilogy sold 1,000 copies on.
Damn.
Hey, it was
Hey.
5,000. Okay.
Was it on Game Pass?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hey, I'm gonna defend that for a second. Those 5,000 people are probably very happy they could buy Ace Attorney on their system.
That's true.
You know,
They were
shout out
very
to John
happy.
Muncher.
I think we should be happy on things when things are on more platforms, even if they don't.
No,
sell
I'm genuinely
True.
want to see more stuff on as many platforms as possible. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
So we have.
It's on a PC too, right?
I don't know, but I hope so.
Probably.
So next we had the first level 5 game of this presentation, which we'll kind of get
this
to.
would become a trend.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Ghost Trick is coming to Xbox.
Oh.
Huh.
It's
good.
coming to everything: Switch,
Egg on my
PS4,
face.
Xbox, and PC.
Well, that's
Get
good.
owned.
Cool.
That's good.
So those 50 people that are playing on Xbox are gonna be very happy.
But anyway, we have Deca Police, the newest propaganda game.
Hey. It's the Twink propaganda game.
Oh, sorry.
Get it
Yeah,
right?
True. I thought this looked good. I thought it looked really neat. I'm not into the battles because I'm not an RPG person, but like everything else I thought looked really neat.
I was gonna say, if it wasn't an RPG, I would be kind of into it. But it's an RPG, so
Yeah, I thought it looked
Wait,
like...
I thought you liked RPGs, Mina.
I have a very fraught relationship with RPGs.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't look like my kind of game, but it looks nice.
Yeah, it was nice to
no
see...
chance I play this one.
It was nice to see something original.
Yeah.
And again, from Level 5, who haven't been doing great lately.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
like, the
It's
characters
very
in the
visually
world stuff-
pleasing, right?
Yeah, like, I thought it
Yeah,
looked
the world
good.
looks nice.
I just don't care for the RPG gameplay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
Level
Level 5. Level 5
Level
has kind of a fraught history with RPGs too.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Ni no Kuni and Yokai Watch are not very. Oh, someone's gonna get mad at me for saying they're not very good, but they're not very good.
Yeah. I've heard mixed on both.
They're slow.
But are you
They're
wrong?
boring.
You know, let's be honest with ourselves.
Like level 5 has good games, but their turn-based RPGs, not so much.
I do think
if only they had a return of some of their best games. If
Yeah.
only.
I do think level 5 strength is a lot more in like their worlds and graphics wise.
Yeah.
They do pretty consistently well with that.
Yeah.
They go very ham on world building and like expanding that stuff outside of games to the point where it's a detriment at times.
Mm-hmm.
So next we saw a little bit more of Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah, this looks
Rage of
really
the Lost
good.
Demon. I think this game looks neat.
It looks like a really cool like puzzle adventure game.
Honestly,
yeah.
honestly, like I think it looks demonstrably better than it did at the Game Awards. Was I the only one who felt that way? Like I was like, oh, I get what the game is now. Like there's
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did a better job showing what it actually is. I felt like I'm
because at
not
the Game Awards it looked very slow paced and it looked very like you're not doing much. You're just kind of walking around.
Yeah.
And that demo they released was just a like walking demo.
Yeah, and then that's what the trailer was, right? And so it was
Yeah.
like, okay, so you see the demo, you see the trailer, and like, it just
Yeah, so it was like, is this a Bayonetta walking sim? And no, it's not at all.
But no, there's so much more to it, and this I think this did a good job illustrating it. And now I'm like actually like excited for this. So
There's like combat, there's exploring, there's puzzle solving.
I would
you control these two characters. It looks neat.
I like the double character control thing. I would be more excited for this one if I had like actually had played through all of the Bayonetta games. I'm like behind on that. So
well,
like,
I mean, this is a prequel, so it doesn't super
Yeah.
matter.
even then I feel like I'm kind of like missing something by not having done so. I like that it's a different style of gameplay and that they're like attempting something different here. And it's nice to see a series like Bayonetta getting like an actual spin-off.
Yeah, that is really
Yeah.
nice. I will say I tried to go back to Bayonetta 1. I beat 2 without much problem, but 1 is so much harder. I don't know if
Yeah.
I might just skip to 3.
Yeah,
It's a little ridiculous at points.
I haven't even picked up 3 yet, so
honestly, I think people overrate sometimes how much you need to play the old games. If you just want to play the new thing, just play the new thing.
Yeah,
you know,
just play
it's
the new-
fine.
yeah.
Bayonetta 1 is hard as shit.
It's definitely something that like it's one of those like I'll eventually get this sort of deals. And then let's see. So Then
I do wish there was.
The next thing is one of the
for-
weirdest things in the entire direct.
what was that, Poochie?
Wait, can I add one more thing on Bayonetta?
Yeah.
I do kind of wish, with its whole gameplay style, there was just like a demo or something. I feel like
Yeah.
this is a game that would benefit from just getting like a taste
Yeah.
of
I
how
hope we
its
get a
mechanics
second
all
demo
work.
because the first demo obviously didn't really have much of that.
Yeah, I mean the first
Oh, was
thing
there
was not
already a
even out.
demo?
No, it was like there was a thing in Bayonetta 3, like that you
Yeah.
could
Oh,
access.
okay. Oh, right.
Bayonetta 3 has
that
like a
thing.
walking demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if the combat and stuff is good, like it would be nice if people could get a feel for that, right? Like, hey, like get a taste for like what makes this game kind of special. Because I can see this being, because I mean, Platinum is masters at making games fun to play, right? And this is such an interesting, different thing for them to do. And if it still has that Platinum feel while being very different, like getting that in people's hands, I think would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. And like Platinum, it's been a while, but like they like made some different games. It's just been a while.
I think
this reminds me of like that Bayonetta or that Okami DS game a little bit.
Oh God, did we talk about
Okami
Okami then?
Oh, visually, I mean.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I didn't play Okami then.
I think there's still a chance they'll put out a demo for this at release or right before release. But
hopefully,
who knows? So the next announcement was definitely like one upset is probably one of the weirdest things on the direct. We had the Splatoon 3 expansion pass DLC. There's 2 waves. We mostly saw the first wave, which is a skin of Inkopolis for the main hub world.
It's just the hub skin.
Yeah.
Can I cope about this as the resident Splatoon fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay. First of all Nintendo DLCs, the first couple waves are garbage. You just have to accept that.
Yeah.
Okay? This is their model. They like to call them waves, but the only thing that matters is the last wave. This happens with everything that they do.
Yeah.
Right? And the other thing is, like, I feel like the Inkopolis thing, it's kind of worthless, right? Honestly.
Yeah.
But it is, just Octo expansion kind of gave you like, okay, here's the campaign, and then here's a nice little visual change with the Octoling. Now, obviously, Octolings are a lot cooler than Inkopolis. But I think this is kind of their version, the Splatoon 3 version of, well, here's also something for you to get that isn't just a new campaign. Here's just a little aesthetic bonus kind of deal.
Yeah.
I just think they could have like ported the first game, like not that, I don't know. Maybe that's harder than it is.
I mean, they needed something extra to make it more to make the thing have perceived more value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how.
I mean, I'm gonna use Inkopolis. Like the new hub is too big.
Yeah, I like the new hub, but it's too big for stuff where you need to walk around to interact with, like the table turf stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
that's true.
And I like
it'll be really good for table turf.
Yeah, it's like if I want to play table turf, I have to like walk around the entire freaking map.
It takes a while because for some reason table turf is the one thing not on the menu. Or there's a few things, but
there's a couple things like recon mode is not on the menu. Table turf is not on the menu. I feel like there's something else. Merch is not on the menu. There's certain things that you have to interact with, like by walking up to them in the hub. And like, if I can play Inkopolis, 1, I like Inkopolis a lot. 2, I like Callie and Marie a lot, especially for Splatfest purposes. And 3, it's much smaller.
Like, it's very strange, but I will use it.
I think it's funny how like you have this new hub, and it's like it's just kind of a skin. So we have like there's shops and there's new shopkeepers, but all the items in there are identical. It would have been cool if like the items were not identical. Like I don't even mean like new items. I just mean like the shops just had different selection from each other.
So there'd be a reason to use both.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be annoying having to go back and forth between the two to like check the shops. But like it's kind of weird that it's like they're identical, like there's shop skins here. I really want like the rhythm minigame or like something like
Squid Jump
from that. Yeah, Squid Jump is fine, but
the rhythm game.
The thing I'm really after is Squid Beats. If they had just said Wave 1 is Squid Beats, I would have been like really happy about that.
Yeah, I would like Squid Beats. That would be nice, but
it feels it's like the one thing that is missing.
it does, right? It's very weird that it's not there. I really don't get why it's not there. And that would have been a cute little DLC bonus too, right?
Yeah.
Just like, hey,
Yeah.
it would at least make Inkopolis feel a little more worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
Also, because there's arcade machines like around the world and we can't use them,
Yeah.
which bums me out.
I kind of feel like if you're gonna make Inkopolis a hub or like an area that you can be in, it would be more beneficial to have it be a unique thing that adds.
I guess
stuff
on
as
the other
opposed to being
hand,
a
though,
skin.
you don't wanna make it annoying having to go back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think
Yeah.
any functionality that you did add to Inkopolis, it would need to be in
Yeah, it would need to be in the
Plattsville as well.
Yeah, which I mean, who knows? Maybe they have.
Which I mean, yeah, they might just add stuff like that for free, though, right? Squid Beats
Yeah.
might just show up for free, and quite frankly, isn't that a better thing?
Yeah.
Than,
I mean,
or, you
I
know?
know like online is still coming for Table Turf.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in that a little bit, though I've not played as much recently.
Because I do think it's important to the Splatoon team that like the important stuff is free, right?
Yeah.
So like obviously an extra campaign is a lot of work, and that deserves to be paid for, right? But otherwise, like anything else they add is just kind of extraneous, and it should be, honestly.
Yeah, multiplayer stuff I don't like when it's like, oh, you need to have, battle pass or whatever for maps or, weapons or whatever. It kind of just splits the player base in a weird way.
Yeah, I'm glad map packs are a thing of the past.
Yeah. Even games that have them, like, for example, not an FPS game or something like that, but like even Mario Kart, like they add new tracks, but like they can show up for anyone in online, like they're part of their rotation.
Yeah.
So like,
which wasn't the case for. Oh.
The real question is, do you think you're gonna unlock the Splatoon 2 lobby since the like trailer for Side Order or whatever had the whited out Splatoon lobby looking like the fucking copied city from Nier Automata?
I think that.
Can we talk about the real shit right here?
Yeah, that's the real
single player expansion. So Song expansion, I'm gonna say, is my favorite thing that Nintendo's ever made, bar none.
Okay. Ever? Wow.
Ever.
Honestly,
ever.
It's definitely my favorite. It's really high up there. Octo expansion is so good.
It is.
It's so good.
I gotta play it.
Yeah, and so it's like, and I think one of the things that made Octo expansion special is they realized, look, this is a single player for people who have already played the game. So we don't have to, there's no training wheels necessary in these DLCs, right? They can just go bananas with it. And so just that alone makes us very exciting. And then obviously, Pearl and Marina, we love them. I am so excited to see Pearl and Marina again. I'm so excited to see what they come up with them, and just being able to interact with them again. That's going to be phenomenal, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I
and it just looks so artsy. It looks like very I don't know. It looks like it's going to have style, and it's going to try to do something different.
I like
it looks unique from the existing single player, right? And I think that's important.
I like that they're going like, well, what if Order, or not if Order won, but like, Order lost the Splatfest last time, so now here's something related to that.
Okay, did you get the name Side Order immediately? Because
it took me a minute.
No, it took me until seeing a Twitter post about it.
Yeah.
Wait, can you explain it? Because I don't understand it at all.
So in the final fest, that was Chaos versus Order. Chaos won. This is Side Order, where it's the Order stuff.
Oh, this is if Order won?
We don't know exactly.
Something like that.
But it's at least something to do with the Order concept, right? And
okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because, we know for a fact that final Splatfest dictated the direction of Splatoon 3, right? Yep. But they surely had ideas lying around for if Order had won, right?
Yeah.
And so this is them getting to use those ideas that otherwise would have been scrapped. And that's fun.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea.
It's a really cool thing to do.
I'm excited to see. I mean, again, the main contents here, like Mina said, is Wave 2. Like you're paying for Wave 2. That's what you're paying for. So I'm really excited to see the style of gameplay that they go for with that. I'm kind of hoping that it's maybe a little more open, to differentiate itself a bit from the main campaign. But we'll see. But it was the what is it, Inkopolis Square, from Splatoon 2, but like, you know, no chaos whatsoever. So it would be kind of neat if, like, yeah, if you beat that and then you get the Inkopolis Square as another hub skin. That would kind of feel right.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna give you something for finishing it.
Yeah, they did
you
last time.
Well, yeah, you got the Octoling that took finishing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you had to beat the final secret boss or not, but I remember you had to at least finish it.
Yeah, you had to at least finish it. So I feel like a hub skin would be a perfectly acceptable, like, you finished the thing, and also it's still inconsequential enough that, like, it doesn't really matter if you don't. I would say even more inconsequential than the Octoling, because a lot of people wanted to be Octolings and were pissed.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I just thought the way that they presented that stuff in particular was kind of weird. So we had Disney Illusion Island, which I'm actually kind of interested in. I think it needs polish. Did anyone else find this one amusing, or is it just me?
I just don't have faith in it because of the team.
Yeah, what is the team?
I will say the physics just don't look fun.
Off.
The way the jumps look floaty in a way that I would not enjoy.
You know the new Battletoads?
Oh, it's them?
Yeah.
It's that developer. So I'm like,
See,
I didn't really like that game.
And if the jump looks off in a platformer, that's just...
Then you've lost already for me.
I thought, like, some of the animations and stuff looked a bit janky, and, like, certain things, how they moved looked janky, but my brain was just coping so hard that I wanted, like, Disney Rayman Origins.
It's for kids, and it doesn't look like a horrible kids game, so, like...
That, I know one mechanic that looked especially off to me in there was, you know, that, like, piggyback jump thing that they showed? Where you can, like, springboard off somebody? It did not look like they springboarded off.
Oh, it looks bad.
Yeah. But my thought looking at it was, like, Rayman Legends, kind of, but with, like, you know...
Yeah.
And I would love for it to turn out nice, but yeah, that's...
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's not for me, but it
Don't
doesn't
get me wrong,
look
I'm
terrible.
rooting for the game, but, like, not hopeful.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Engage Expansion Pass DLC. I could care less about this. Does anyone have anything to say about it?
I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, and I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to play Engage, so I don't care, but...
I saw a funny video of Soren. Soren seems pretty funny in this game.
Oh, I will say that the title Fell Xenologue. It's a funny title.
That is a funny title.
Yeah.
It is a very... Can I actually have two takeaways, actually? Number one, I fucking hate NOA, because at the end of the segment, they were like, the Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass for the Fire Emblem Engage game. Like, what? Why?
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you so much. NOA.
It's very specific. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
that actually stood out to me as well when they did that.
It's so dumb. And then my other takeaway is Ike and Soren are gay, and we love them.
True.
I'm fine with it.
Play, you heard it here first. I'm fine with the gays.
I'm glad that they're doing, again, it's another situation where Wave 4 is like the meat and potatoes.
It's the big one. Yeah. It looked like Wave 3 at least had some extra maps in it.
Yeah. I know we didn't even mention for the Xenoblade DLC, but they had like that, like, what do you call it?
The roguelike mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. I just don't know what the hook is for this DLC.
I mean, it's always... I mean, we were talking about before. The stuff before the final wave is just... nothing. It's not maybe nothing, but like...
It's less
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? I never played any of Xenoblade 2's DLC outside of Torna.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
That's just how it goes, huh? It's just that, that's how they all are. They really are.
Breath of the Wild was a little bit more substantial for Wave 1, but like Wave 2 is the meat and potatoes of that too.
I mean, until they put in the like 4th house and 3 houses, that whole DLC pass was just like costumes and a sauna. Yeah. So like, I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely an upgrade over that. Like the bracelets are fun. They give you fun support conversations. They kind of break the game, but that can be fun in its own way. Like especially on a replay. maybe not a first playthrough. If you feel like breaking the game, why not? Right? They give you a fun little map to play on. It's cute. I think that's what I feel about it.
We had Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, which is a new game by Don't Nod, the what do you call it? The
original Life is Strange creator.
Yeah. I wanted to find this interesting. I don't.
I kind of boat too.
It doesn't look like it's for me, but it looks interesting.
I kind of like the art style, and like
I don't think the art style's bad.
But I think Don't Nod is kind of hit or miss is the thing. So I'm like, I'll wait for reviews. If they're good, I am open to picking this up though.
Yeah. I like Tell Me Why.
I thought that the trailer or what they showed spent way too much time on that like flowchart screen. That meant nothing to anybody. There's a lot of footage of that screen.
I will say something I do very much appreciate about Don't Nod though is like they make sure to have like they're very big believers in like inclusiveness, inclusivity. And like for example, Tell Me Why is about a trans character, right?
Right.
You know, the Life is Strange games have bisexual characters. Some even are gay. And it's like so they're very good about representation, and visual novels obviously just make that even easier, I think.
Right.
That part. So in that aspect I'm interested.
Yeah.
And again, that sounds appealing. So there's something to it.
Yeah, it could be a potential.
Be new, next, Octopath Traveler 2 is out this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got
looks beautiful.
We got the prologue demo. I'm not an RPG person, but I'm sure there are a lot of people looking forward to that.
I'm not an RPG person, but like of RPGs, the Octopath games look very appealing.
Be honest, the music is incredible. Even if you don't care about Octopath, you have to admit that theme, it hits. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That composer's insane.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I want to try it someday, maybe.
And a demo. Hey, we love good shadow drops. I wonder if there's any more of these.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I don't see why there would be.
The next game is awesome. Can I cover this one?
Yeah.
So this is my favorite Katamari game ever. Wheel of Katamari is back.
Yeah.
It's Katamari Reroll. Yeah. We love Katamari Reroll, and they also have some extra like prequel missions. So new content.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to play as perpetual fuck up King of all cosmos. The man who's never done anything right.
Yeah, I love him.
These games are so good. This one is it's a bigger game than Katamari Damacy if you play just Reroll.
Yeah.
This game is meatier and I think just better overall.
Yeah, if you got into Katamari with a Reroll and you liked it at all, I would say this is the one.
This is a must buy. It's $30.
Yeah.
It's a steal.
The only thing that I noticed is that there's apparently some kind of like special edition that comes with some stuff, most of it inconsequential, but one of the things that it does come with are 25 additional Katamari music tracks from the whole series.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to hide behind a
That's messed up.
So the regular version is 30. I don't know what the special edition is because I can't seem to find info on it.
It's gotta just be 40.
That's what I would guess. It was probably 40.
If it's 40, then that's worth it because the music in these games is amazing.
It has that. It has like a little like Prince like mini decoration thing, and I think it has like one other small thing. But the big thing is the Katamari additional music. Originally,
and is that just like in like a jukebox mode, or is that like part of the game? Like
I believe it's part of the game. Like the one thing about the game that they've added this time is that you can have like a favorites sort of playlist and stuff.
Oh, you can like choose your music. That's great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
In the original, you could choose your music. I think after you finished the game, you could choose like from the songs, and it would be like the new songs and then the songs from the original game. So at first, I thought the 25 tracks were just the tracks from the original Katamari, and I was like, oh, ew, they split it off. But it said from the series, so I'm hopeful that we get some neat stuff. But yeah, they have that. They added the 5 new missions for King, which
Yeah, they said challenges, so I don't know if those are like they might be in existing levels. But
that's what it seemed like.
New objectives. That's what it sounded like, which is fine.
And I know they added Eternal mode to this one, which I wasn't familiar with before, but it's basically like an endless rolling mode. You can just keep rolling forever.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's just a relaxing thing. Just
so
big.
We Heart Katamari. I always call it We Heart Katamari. We Love Katamari is really good. My favorite of them. So
it's my favorite of the game as well.
Yeah.
They also added a selfie mode.
Oh
yes,
yeah, that's
the
right.
selfie camera looks great.
Hell yeah,
that's cute.
With a little
I love
Pac-Man
the
stick.
Prince.
I love the Prince too.
Is a good guy.
I love Katamari so much.
I love Katamari. We love Katamari.
The game's name is also just kind of funny. Just the plus Royal Reverie.
Yeah.
In the Bowser's Fury action here.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, it's 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Then we have Sea of Stars, which it was kickstarted. It's by the Messenger devs. It's that RPG. It kind of looks.
It looks really well done.
Yeah.
The sprite art is gorgeous. It looks so good. I've been looking forward to this one a lot actually. And this is the first time I got a date. We didn't have a date before this.
Yeah, was it April?
Did you get to play the demo of that?
It's
August.
Yeah. So there is a demo out now. Yep.
Yeah. Did anyone get a chance to play the demo of that?
No. But just from looking at it, I will say something I really like is that it seems like because turn-based RPGs, they're hit or miss for a lot of people, right? But this seems like it has a lot of the interactivity that maybe I'm off base here, but from my uninformed perspective, it kind of looked Mario RPG-esque, where there was a physicality to it, if that makes sense.
Maybe I'll try the demo.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I'm even completely off base though. I didn't play it; it just looked like that.
I'm even looking at a screenshot of this, and it does have like the classic Mario RPG thing, where when you level up, you get to select one of your stats to boost.
Right. Fun. Yeah, it seems like a mix of several
cute.
SNES RPGs, which I think is really cool. If I'm gonna play an RPG ever, it would probably be one of those, frankly. And yeah, they shadow dropped a demo for it as well, which I feel like they did a very bad job of showing because they didn't have anything on screen saying that there was a demo like the other stuff.
Also, it's really early for a demo.
Yeah.
6 months before release? That's a long time.
I don't know if they're looking at it as a feedback demo or what. But yeah, I thought that was a little strange too. We had Omega Strikers, that free-to-play hockey thing that looks like bad Windjammers.
It looks so bad.
I think it's out on PC already, and it's kind of popular, or at least it was like a.
It looks like a MOBA, and I'm just sick of MOBAs.
It is.
It's a MOBA. It's an air hockey game. It's kind of it's a mix of
I'm good.
And it was one of those flash in the pan. It hit off on Twitch for a couple days. I don't know if it's still popular, but it was.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
On Steam? Okay, it's on Steam. What do people think of it? It has... Oh, it's not out yet on PC. It's not on Steam yet, at least. September 16th.
Oh, maybe it was an early access thing?
Or maybe it's not on... Because it says release date September 16th, 2022, but it also says it's not out. So I have no idea. Maybe it's just not on Steam.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know.
Anyways,
anything.
not important.
It just looked like
it's
not
Windjammers. And it's meh.
It was...
I'll stick to Windjammers.
It's the one thing that's why is this in the Direct?
Yeah, that was it was kind of why is this here? I mean, it's fine. It's just definitely one of the weakest things.
Felt like it should have just been in the sizzle reel at the end. But oh well.
Yeah.
It happens. They get in there.
Next is James's time to shine.
Yeah.
This is the most perplexing. This was probably the thing that I thought about the most on Direct Day, because I cannot understand what the reasoning was at all. So they're remastering. So they're remastering the first 3 Etrian Odyssey games, the DS versions.
Yep.
They remade Etrian Odyssey 1 and 2 on the 3DS. And would all in the engine of Etrian 4 which would also go on to make Etrian 5, Etrian Nexus, and the 2 Persona Q games.
Yep.
And the Strange Journey remake. So
Right.
for them to go back and just remaster the old Pixel DS versions of these games does not make any sense to me. First of all. Second of all, they're $40 each.
Yeah.
I think the collection is $80, so if you commit to all 3, you get one of them for free, essentially.
Yeah.
But on Steam, they're $39.99 US, which is more expensive than they were when they were on the DS originally.
Yeah, weren't they like
which
30?
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Which tax?
Not even Switch tax, just tax in general.
It has been 4.5 years since they said that they were working on a new Etrian Odyssey for the Switch, which apparently they want to have out by next year, according to a live stream.
Yeah.
That they did. I think it was the day after the Direct. But I'm still just sitting here in total awe that they're putting these games out on Steam and PC, charging $40 for them when they put out Persona 4 on PC at $20. And that game's like that game would have sold to people. Etrian Odyssey is a very niche thing.
Yeah.
I just don't know who this is for. I just don't know who it's for.
I also don't get why they didn't do like a Rune Factory thing. Do you remember how Rune Factory 5 and 6 were announced? Where they announced a remaster and then right after they're like, also the next Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, that was
smart. Rune Factory. I'm surprised they didn't do something like that here. Honestly, it's kind of weird to me.
That would have made sense. I still think
the pricing is bizarre. The pricing is it just confounds me. Like $40 each, $80 for the pack is like what? There should have been at best it should have been $60 for all 3. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like $60 for all 3 is pretty reasonable. It's 3 games.
To
3 games for $60. You know.
To me, this collection or set of remasters should have been like a slam dunk.
Yeah, but Atlas good Atlas, I guess. Like, so we have to admit, Atlas, sometimes they are very savvy and they make great decisions. Sometimes they make the dumbest fucking decisions that make no sense, and what you gonna do?
When have they made good decisions?
I just look at this and I'm like, if they had instead, so the remakes of the first 2 games on the 3DS games are called Etrian Odyssey 1 and 2 Untold. Mm-hmm. And what that basically means is that Etrian is an old school dungeon crawler. The mainline series, you don't have like a preset party. You make your own party and you just do the dungeon. That's the deal. The story is pretty bare bones.
Right.
It's mostly just there as kind of a set dressing to keep you moving along. And then the Untold versions, what they did is you can play them in classic mode, or they added story modes on top of that, with like preset party members with preset classes, etc. They never made an Etrian Odyssey 3 Untold. So what I would have expected them to do with something like this is, they announced Etrian Odyssey 3 Untold.
Right.
That would have been a lot better.
It's in the engine of the Untold 1 and 2. And now they've ported that engine to the Switch. And now they can release Etrian 1, 2, 4, 5, Nexus, and the 2 Persona Q games, and Strange Journey Redux if they wanted to. And like now that engine, they have it, on the Switch, good to go. But instead, they've again gone back and remastered 3 games that are in the DS engine. It does. I literally can't make head or tails of why they decided to do it this way.
Does it have the Untold content or no?
No, it doesn't.
My goodness.
Yeah, that content was never made for those games. That content's like all on the 3DS. So they did add the only things that are new, the near as I can tell. They added an extra portrait for each class, which that's cool. I mean, Etrian's art is good, though there are skeletons in that man's closet. Yeah.
Oh my.
They added new difficulty modes, which they didn't. The first 3 games didn't have difficulty modes. There was just one. and it was hard.
Right.
And I guess that from what Yuzo Koshiro said on Twitter, they're not like remastered, or the tracks aren't like, I guess they would be remastered. They're not rearranged or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He had just gone back and re-recorded all of the music with the original quality instrument samples.
Right.
So it'll sound better than it did on the DS's speaker.
And is the auto mapping thing new as well, or is that?
Oh yeah, they added the auto mapping that would have been in the later editions of the series, and I guess they added the run button too, which will make those games more fun to play. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Those games is like default movement is a little bit slow by modern standards.
Yeah.
So having that run button in Etrian 3 would actually make Etrian 3 more, accessible to go back to at this point. But it's such a really perplexing release.
Yeah.
And I say this as somebody who has every Etrian game. I don't see myself buying this thing at full price.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Especially for 80 for the set.
Which if you don't have James, I feel like you have like basically no one. James fucking loves Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, I love this series. I can't fathom what they've decided to do here.
I feel like this should have just been EO3 Untold or something. That would have been like, at least I don't know. There's a lot of things this could have been, and it's just this was the worst case scenario, and it just kind of I just hope that this doesn't affect like the future of the franchise any, right? Like if this sells like dog shit, which it probably will.
I don't think it will. Well, I mean, I think it probably will sell bad. I don't think it's going to affect the franchise, because if they have a new game that they want to have out by next year,
yeah, it'll do fine probably.
Yeah, it's gotta be,
or it'll actually no chance of getting canceled at least, right?
No, yeah. Etrian 6 or whatever they're calling it is certainly on the way. I just don't understand this stopgap release. It's just
weird.
If it was $50 or $60, I wouldn't even be questioning it. But I just don't get it.
To me,
like, this is more expensive isn't this not more expensive than the physical copy of the Final Fantasy collection?
I was just
releasing.
Yeah, oh my god, it is.
And that has 6 games on it, and like, it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I feel like if they had done this collection and it was, Untold 1 and 2, and then like they were like, and for the first time Untold 3, all together for 60, that would be a really high value release.
Yeah,
hell,
I mean that would,
even if they still kept the stupid pricing and just had Untold 3 and on top of Untold 1 and 2, it would be better. But like
they could have easily, like, I wouldn't even be raising an eyebrow at $80 if it was Untold 3 and also 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like, but for just, it just blows my mind, man. Like, yeah, someone brought up when I was talking to him about it, it's like, well, have you seen how much an Etrian Odyssey 2 or 3 cartridge for the DS costs these days? I'm like, that should not matter.
Yeah, that does not matter in this slot.
Yeah,
that cartridge has been out of print for over 10 years.
Yeah. Do you know how much a ROM costs? 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the Steam release has fucking Denuvo on it. What are they doing? What are they doing?
Oh my.
I don't get it.
Well, moving
Notoriously impossible to pirate DS game, Etrian Odyssey, has Denuvo on it. Yeah, like, okay, guys, like, what? Oh my god, it just doesn't make any sense.
And frankly,
I'm interested to see how they handle mapping on docked play.
And frankly, like, yeah, like, if you like pirate the DS version, it'll probably play better just because you have the touchscreen for, like, the way that it's configured for the actual, like, mapping. I feel like is going to be more intuitive in that version anyway.
Potentially, I don't know. We'd have it seems like they have a pretty solid answer.
They have an answer,
I can't believe I didn't think of, which is literally just have the dungeon crawling only take up half the screen, which that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested to see how it looks on a television. So I probably will get it eventually, but it's
on the telly.
not. Yeah, the
Wait for
Atlas
sale.
games go on sale so frequently that it's
Yeah.
just like it'll be sub $50 probably, but by summer.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe that like I saw Etrian Odyssey pop up in a direct, and I was just like, I went from like to what the fuck.
Yeah, like very quick.
I didn't think of all series they could get me on that one. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, if it's an Etrian game, how could they possibly disappoint me? In a direct, right?
They
Like
did.
maybe the game comes out and it's not very good, but in a direct, it's just like new game. No.
So next we have, speaking of a remaster remake. I'm gonna say remake for this one. I think is the fairest.
A
We
reboot?
we finally get Advance Wars this year in April. Advance Wars 1+2
Yay.
Reboot Camp. I
Basically
think
a
it's
year after the original release, right? Or the delayed original
Yeah.
release.
I think
It's
a year
almost
after.
exactly a year, I think.
Yeah. I think it was very funny how for this segment they did not show any gameplay. They just showed that intro cutscene.
Yeah, they were like, the game looks the same
Yeah.
as it did last time, so
Yeah.
I mean, the game was done.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
game was just
Yeah.
done.
Game's
they're
done.
working on something else now.
And it would be stupid to like put more money into this game that's just already done and was gonna release like that, right?
Yeah.
So
I just mean for
I
like
get it.
direct purposes, you think they would have like very, just shown like a teeny bit of gameplay footage.
Sure, yeah.
But like whatever. I mean, I think everyone knows at this point
Just thank
who's
God it's
watching
coming
what
out,
it
though.
is. Yeah, I was afraid for a while.
Thank
I'm
God,
glad it
and
made it
thank
out.
God that they're not sending it out to die. Like it got
Yeah.
a direct spot.
Yeah.
Like it's
They
coming
gave
out
it
in
its-
Q1,
Yeah, I
it's like-
thought they would just like say like,
I
that's-
know there was rumors before this that they were gonna shadow drop Advance Wars. Little did we know. But
Yeah, I did think that was likely.
yeah. The thing
With
about
Nintendo's
Advance
luck, a
Wars,
new war would have started in real life if they had
Yeah.
done that.
the thing about Advance Wars that I'm kind of curious about is, so as someone who has not played the originals, so they have the map editor, custom map like mode, and you can share those online. They have the multiplayer, which is local and online. I thought I saw someone say something about Advance Wars. You could make like full on like custom campaigns. I don't know if that's accurate. Is
I
it?
have no idea.
I was just curious if that is a thing, if that element is there or not. But it seems,
I don't remember that.
I feel like that that didn't sound quite right to me. So, but like having the custom maps and missions and stuff. What is it called? The War Room in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Online is really nice. The timing of this release is also kind of funny for other reasons that we'll get to in a little bit, but I'm just excited that it's making it out there. I'll probably be picking this one up. It's probably the closest thing I'll ever enjoy to a tactical RPG. So,
Well, it's not an RPG like at all, so
well,
you're safe.
whatever. Okay,
So-
cool.
So you'll be good.
It's a tactics.
It's not even like Fire
game.
Emblem. Like your
Yeah.
tanks don't gain levels.
Good.
Yeah, and you don't have to
Good.
marry him.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
wish
put a
I
child
could
in
marry a
the
tank.
I think that would be the only thing I would want to marry is a tank. So.
Yeah.
Well, I have an anime for you.
Oh no.
Kirby.
Magalore epilogue.
Magalore epilogue, baby.
Oh my God! What the hell?
I'm so excited.
They are putting a stupid amount of effort into this remake, remaster, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so much new stuff.
I-
Isn't that's how HAL rolls with Kirby?
I guess
It
like,
is how
Superstar
HAL
Ultra
rolls.
was very much like this too, right?
Yep.
So I guess this is just how HAL rolls. But still, it like of all the deluxes and all the remasters and all whatever, I feel like this is the like most jam packed with new content that we've gotten of
Yeah.
any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
hell, the Mario 3D World remake or remaster came with a whole new game. Like,
yeah.
Nintendo like goes hard sometimes.
I
Yeah.
guess that's
I
true.
mean,
yeah,
I
it's
know
Sometimes.
people, I know people don't talk about it as much, and it's not as massive of additional content, but I did feel like they did it was kind of cool what they added to Pikmin 3 as well for the deluxe version. Like the what do you call it? Like the Olimer and
They added
whatever.
the Piclopedia.
And the Piclopedia. That to me, that's the biggest thing for that was the Piclopedia.
Oh, I didn't even know that game had new content.
I had to say, Magolor Epilogue gives me like mental damage. Because like Magolor, it confounds me that this piece of shit is so popular. Like,
oh man.
Oh god, Luigi Blood is
gonna
like
listen to this?
trembling.
I'm just saying, this guy is like, I'm telling you, Magolor fans are like Joker fans of the Kirby world.
Ooh.
Like, it's
Damn.
What?
It's unhinged. And then now they're making a whole epilogue about him, and oh my goodness gracious. I'm
gonna tell you a secret. I didn't know who
villain.
Magolor was before this video.
He's the villain of Return to Dreamland. If they make a Robobot meme, then Susie's gonna be the one they use, and if they make a triple deluxe like remake, it would be the tarantula guy. I forget his name.
Taranza.
Yeah, like it's really like I don't think Magolor's getting special treatment here so much as it's just like he's the key villain of the game that they remade. And yes, I understand he has some fans.
Are you aware there's a fan mod of Kirby's Return to Dreamland called Magolor Wii? Okay? And what this does is it replaces every single character model in the game with Magolor.
That's fun.
So it's like
that's a level of dedication.
This is what Magolor fans are like.
It's like the Doom wad that replaces everything with Tim Allen's That's how I think of it.
That was a good one.
It's a pretty good.
What do you have against Magolor though?
I find his fans unsettling. It's
I think it's nice. I tried the demo for this.
Yes, the demo is great.
It's 60 FPS, right? This is the first 60 FPS Kirby on Switch.
It is. And do you know what? I think in the stream, I think this game looks. I think it doesn't look great on stream, but I think it looked great on Switch.
It looked
amazing. The
bitrate
doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, it does not look.
I'm really curious to see how it looks on my OLED then. On my
OLED. When I was playing it on mine, I was like, man, I bet this thing looks insane on an OLED because it was absolutely gorgeous.
When they showed the first trailer, I was like, oh, I don't like how this looks, but no, it looks really nice.
Really nice on actual hardware in motion. It's like the outline stuff is perfect.
Yep.
Nice.
And so I mean, Return to Dreamland, we have Magolor Epilogue. I think they said 20 stages, and it's kind of like it's got some light. It basically bridges the gap between the end of Return to Dreamland and like kind of how Magolor, what happened after that. You have to get his powers back. So you get like magic chips basically and spend them to upgrade his attacks. Also fully playable in 4-player, which is cool. It looks neat. Hopefully, I mean, it's very much like Heroes of Another Dimension to me, for anyone who's familiar with Star Allies. It looks fun.
Yeah.
And then we got the site kind of opened up afterwards. Excuse me. And we can definitely, like, it retains some of the other content. It retains the other post-game content of the original game as well. So I feel like this, plus all of the sub-games and like little extras to go with that, plus all the original content from, the original game, I think the only thing that's missing is like they got rid of one of the sub-games. But
that one heavily used the IR pointer, so like it makes sense.
Yeah,
the one thing I do wish though, I wish this had online.
Yeah. Playing the mini games online would be fun.
I think this just would benefit so much from it. It's so multiplayer focused. I think that legitimately, I think it would make it sell so much more if it had online, and it would just be fun. It would be really fun to play this online.
It's weird because a lot of Nintendo games are online. Maybe Hell just doesn't have the resources to like make their games online.
Oh, come on. Forgotten Land sold 6 bajillion copies. You're gonna tell me that Hell doesn't have the resources? Get out of here.
They did.
They're a small little indie dev.
I mean Kirby Fighters 2 is fully online.
You're right. Hey, no excuse.
That was with Vanpool.
the lack of online is like the one thing that's keeping me from getting it. Maybe
Yeah.
like sometime down the line when it's $40 or whatever, but
Yeah, I
not
think it's
Yeah,
launch
I'm not gonna
title.
buy this for 60, but I might play it eventually.
Hey, you don't have
Yeah.
to. You can get it for 50 with vouchers. Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm
I will
very
definitely play this eventually.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is day one for me because I love
It's
Kirby.
it's more appealing than Star Allies for me.
Yeah, it's a better game than Star Allies in general.
That
sure
one just
it
didn't
is.
interest me.
Yeah, I would say it's probably better than Star Allies.
Darkins
Even
from the
though
Discord says that he replayed all of the newer Kirby 2D games, like starting from Return to Dreamland,
Uh-huh.
and that he walked away saying that it was his favorite.
Yeah,
That it
I
was
agree
actually
with
the best
that.
one.
I agree with that. The 3DS ones are great too, but I still think Return is better.
I'm excited to go back to this because I this game came out at such a weird time. It came out tail end of the Wii life cycle, right?
Yep.
Which is like not a good time to release a game, as we know the Wii fell off a cliff, right?
Yep.
And I did play the game at launch though. Fun fact: I went to the midnight launch of Battlefield whatever the fuck, so I could pick up Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
Yes. Correct decision.
Great.
But yeah, I don't remember anything about it though, so I am excited to go back to it for sure.
Yeah, the thing with Return for me, I remember at the time, so like what do you call it? Epic Yarn had just come out the previous year. And the thing in the press at the time was like, oh well, Epic Yarn is so cool because it's it's got this special art style and has this unique sort of thing, and this is just another Kirby game, and I was so fucking pissed at that at the time because this game is infinitely better than Epic Yarn ever was. And there hadn't been a new Kirby console game in an eternity, and it was fully 4-player and just an absolute blast. Everyone was just kind of crapping on it at the time. I'm excited for people to realize what they missed out on, or at least get the chance to play it if they haven't before now, because it's very, very good. So that's my thing on that. Next, finally, after an eternity of waiting and emulator leaks and all kinds of fun stuff, we finally got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance Switch Online.
I was surprised to see GBA there. I was expecting Game Boy, to be honest. I really was, because I was really feeling it coming this time. But GBA, I was like, what the fuck?
The 1-2 was great.
It was nice to see,
and I was very happy.
Surprised that Game Boy is on the base tier.
I was very happy
of that.
Actually.
It's nice that the base tier has something new. It's been a long time since they've had anything.
I'm glad that Game Boy got added to base tier, and then Game Boy Advance that was kind of what I was hoping.
Okay, I have one worry because it's in the base tier. Like
when it showed Pokemon?
Well, no. Is that they showed their coming soon list was so much smaller than the coming soon list on
GBA.
The GBA one.
I don't think it was.
I'm worried about Pokemon. I still think Pokemon will come. But
I think we're gonna hear about Pokemon in these services for Pokemon Day later this month.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
They can do that for it's a special Pokemon thing, but the selection of games is interesting. It is a
Kuru.
Yeah, there's some bangers in there, but it's definitely like Super Mario Land 2. Obviously, it's the better game, but not having the first one in there is odd.
Yeah, and skipping straight to Wario Land 3.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Going
which I get Wario Land 3 is a graphical showcase, but playing that without playing the first two is or not having those be an option.
Let's briefly list the launch lineup for everybody. So, Game Boy launch lineup was Tetris, which I'm genuinely surprised they got.
Amazing.
Didn't that get knocked off the 3DS eShop at some point?
Yeah, it did.
It did. Mario Land 2, Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare, Metroid 2: Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land. So
Alone in the Dark is definitely
one of these is not like the other.
Yeah, Alone in the Dark is such a wild thing to put on there. One of the 6 games.
That makes me super excited, actually, because that's not what I was expecting to get added onto here, and I want to see more stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
definitely
looking-
interesting. I think they chose that as well because it's like a graphical showcase for
Yeah.
the.
For sure it
The
is.
game looks
Boy
kind of
Color.
insane for Game Boy. Like it
Doesn't
looks like
it?
It's really
looks-
smooth too.
ugly, but like in a really impressive way.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping that like we could eventually see like Resident Evil Gaiden or like Metal Gear Ghost Babel.
Oh,
That
that'd
would be
cool.
so
Both of
cool.
those would be very
I've mostly been
interesting.
playing Wario Land 3, which is a. Ugh, anyways,
It's a
but
video game.
it's
Hey,
cool
but
if you
rewind
abuse
makes
the
it
rewind
better.
button a lot. What?
Rewind makes the game so much more playable.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Rewind makes the game playable. I think without rewind, Wario Land 3 is infuriating.
What game do you guys think I played the most of so far on Game Boy?
For Game Boy,
On NSO, yeah.
Surely it has to
Mario
be
Land
Tetris,
2.
right?
Okay. Any other guesses?
Tetris.
Tetris.
Tetris?
Probably gonna be Gargoyle's Quest.
The answer is Game & Watch Gallery 3, baby.
Oh, that's
I
a good game.
love Game & Watch Gallery 3.
Yeah. Oh,
You know-
another thing. The
Mhm.
the trailer for I was rewatching the Game Boy trailer a second ago. And for the Game & Watch Gallery 3 section, they only show the old style games.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know why they did
So
that.
like
Interesting.
people who haven't played it wouldn't realize there's also like Mario versions of every single game in the pack.
Yeah,
that's weird that
they made
didn't show
that was a weird choice.
It's just it's an auto mission.
You know what my take on NSO is, like what Game Boy and GBA make me think. I feel like I understand why people want virtual console. Like I understand why people want to be able to buy the games, right?
Yep.
But putting that aside, I do genuinely believe that being a subscription service makes it infinitely easier for Nintendo to negotiate. Because then it just becomes a thing of, well, here's a cut of the revenue, right? Or just here's a big check. You don't have to worry about your game sales because we're just cutting you a big check, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Like
we're seeing the results
nobody's
of
gonna
that.
buy Alone in the Dark the New Nightmare. Nobody.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, but they are able to get that because it's on a subscription service.
Mhm.
So I think like there's definitely been like a lot of upside to how they've decided to go about their classic games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is like if you want to own these games or like have them permanently, they're on everything. It's fine. You can download Mario Land 2
Honestly,
to
just pirate
your
it.
PSP. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Just pirate it.
And like that's
Yeah.
what people like. Obviously, like I can play these games on like every system, but I really like the NSO apps.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I don't know. I like playing games on my Switch.
Yeah.
Just-
So I'm more likely to play a ROM that is on my Switch than a ROM that is on my computer.
Just
And that's
having
really
it
my
like
sorry, go on.
as a subscription service too, just like there's a lot of games on here. Like I would not have paid for Kurokurokuren up front,
Mhm.
and I've been enjoying the hell out of
Yeah, it was such a
Kurokurokuren.
Yeah.
surprise, like fun time, right? Like I would never have gotten it myself, but because I was talking about this with my partner, and I realized like back on 3DS, like I was paying $5, like $4 or $5 a pop for Game Boy games, right?
Yeah.
I bought a lot of those Game Boy games on 3DS.
Yeah, the price added up though, you know.
Yeah, they did.
GBA was like $8 a piece, and so it was like on Wii U. And so in that sense, like I think I don't know, and I think NSO has been doing a good job of like, really making me feel like, I'm getting a lot out of this, huh? Like this is a good ass subscription service, actually.
Especially
I've
if
got
you're
like
on,
20
Yeah.
hours on SNES, 10 hours on N64. They add up.
especially if you're like, even if you're just on the base tier and you're in a family plan and you're paying $4 a year for it, it's kind of
Oh
like,
God,
yeah.
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 If you're on the family plan, like you are.
yeah. The family
Oh,
plan is how I roll, and it's great.
Yeah, I think if you're like a fan of retro games now, though, like being on the family plan that has expansion pass is fully worth it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Especially
have a
for all the,
full,
like,
if you have a
DLC stuff.
if you have a full family,
Mhm.
you're paying $10 a year for
Yeah,
expansion
which is
pass.
that's 100% worth it to be able to play some of these Game Boy Advance games, which we'll discuss in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the Game Boy Advance list?
Before we get to Game Boy Advance, I just
Oh,
want to
yeah.
mention the Game Boy app has Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color modes. I
Yeah.
do kind of wish that with the Game Boy Color mode, you could still choose your palette. But
Yeah.
the ones that it has chosen are mostly fine from what I've seen so far. But I wanted to mention I usually hate like scanline or screen filters
Oh, yeah.
on emulators and on collections. But I really like the one that's in
Yeah.
the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance one. It just looks right.
I like it too. I have my thing set with scan lines and the smaller window.
Oh, you have the smaller window. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have the smaller window, but I have the thing because it does genuinely look like the like dot matrix displays on the original units. And I think it's just very nice. The other thing is that this handles multiplayer a bit differently from the others, in that it will only show you games that have multiplayer, and I believe there's a written guide for each game on how to enter its multiplayer functions. Like,
I did not know that.
Game
That's
& Watch
amazing.
Gallery 3, the only thing multiplayer in it is Judge in 2-player, and it like explains that you need to get like 20 stars to unlock it, and then you need to go to this screen.
Oh my god!
Wow.
So-
When you unlock multiplayer
like
Judge, let me know and we'll
It's just very funny.
we'll do it.
I just think it's very funny.
I think it's if you press ZL and ZR. I don't remember what exactly it is, but it definitely shows you like when you try to do multiplayer, like it gives you very detailed instructions. Because I realized that playing a couple, because I tried Mario Brothers via SMB3, and I tried Kuru Kuru Kururin, and both of them it was just like it very clearly outlined like what you have to do. And this is actually a functionality that you have to give Nintendo kudos for, because I don't know if you've ever tried like emulating like link cable stuff like online. It's not easy.
Yeah,
it's a pain.
It's a pain.
It is and so this is one of the first times where I actually feel like, oh, they're offering something that not even emulation can give me. You know?
Yeah.
Which is like, just really cool. Like, I'm so excited to be able to play Kirby and the Amazing Mirror online. I'm so excited. Surely Four Swords will be there one day.
Yeah, Four Swords.
Yeah, like this, it's fantastic.
I really like that you can. To me, out of all the you can play NES online, you can play N64 online. To me, the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff is the stuff that I'm actually most interested in terms of playing online, because the setup for doing so in real life for multiplayer for Game Boy with physical hardware has always been difficult and a pain. Like, sometimes people would need additional games. You have multiple systems, you need the link cable. Like, it's just a very specific circumstance to enjoy some of those multiplayer modes, especially ones that are like, for example, 2-player Judge, where it's not really worth the setup and like the actual scenario that you're going to have. But so I like that a lot. The one thing
Clay, I have a question real quick. For the online, do you have like your individual like saves?
I have actually not gotten the chance to try online with this yet.
Okay.
So I'm
just like wondering like if like a Pokemon thing would even work. Like if like
I want to say that I think Luigi Blood mentioned that what it's doing is it's emulating every Game Boy instance on both systems at the same time.
Jesus.
Oh, that's interesting.
So my save would carry over even if I'm player 2 or something.
I don't want to say yes for sure, but I believe that's the case.
I mean, it would have to be that way because we were talking about earlier how Judge both players have to get the 20 stars.
Both players have to have it. Wow.
Yeah.
That is effort.
It literally works as if it's like 2 separate instances of like a link cable game. Like, right?
That's
so
amazing.
Like, it's just you each have your own copy. Like, it is like and I bet that I would bet that this functionality is why Game Boy took so long, because this is like a gargantuan effort, I think.
Yeah.
Again, not easy to make this work, and kudos to them.
In regards to vanilla Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I am a little disappointed that they didn't go for 4-player on this, because stuff like F1 Race or whatever, where you had the 4-player connection, I know it's not many games, but that was a pretty like big thing.
It is a bummer. No Faceball 2000.
And there's no you can't like play online cooperatively with someone in single player like you would with the other games, which
makes sense.
I can see.
But I think it's a worthy trade-off.
It's a little disappointing, but like it's not the end of the world to me.
I can't wait to get to play Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, because I've been wanting to play that ever since I saw it at the Nintendo World Championship.
Yeah.
It's a neat
cool.
little
That'll
thing.
be fun.
And so some of the before we move on to GBA 2, there's a couple other games that are coming up for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. The Oracle's games for one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
What were some of the other ones? I know there was
It was 4.
Yeah.
It was
Pokemon trading
Oracle's
card game.
Pokemon trading
game,
card.
and then Kirby Tilt and Tumble. Which
Yeah.
I am so
Yes.
happy about because one, that is a tilt game. Says good
Yeah.
things about WarioWare Twisted and Yoshi
Mhm.
Talks
Yes.
and Kirby.
Mhm.
Second, that game has never had a re-release before.
Wild.
And playing it on an SP is extremely annoying because you need to calibrate it upside down because of where the cartridge slot is located.
Tilt and Tumble's pretty fun.
Tilt and Tumble's great. I love
It's
Tilt
not a
and
bad
Tumble.
game.
So I'm excited about that. I'm very curious once we get like Mario Bros. Deluxe, and actually, we could. I guess someone would be able to check technically with Link's Awakening DX. I would love if they somehow made it so that you could export what the Game Boy printer would print, but I don't know.
Oh,
if
there's
that's
no way.
Oh,
they
I wonder if you can
There's
send
no
that to
way.
like the
like
Oh, I'm
like
sure
the
you
image
can.
gallery, the image gallery. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that little like Instax printer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That they released
That
a
would be so
Pokemon
fun.
Snap.
The because for example, we had with Pokemon Snap on Wii Virtual Console, you had the the Blockbuster kiosk, and you could print quote unquote the image to the Wii message board. But there are special images that you get in Mario Bros. Deluxe and in Link's Awakening Deluxe that would be printable through the Game Boy printer. And obviously they're nothing like wild, but it would be very neat if it was able to somehow export that image data as an image in your album.
The biggest bummer with the Game Boy stuff is that there's none of the great Nintendo like Jupiter pinball games yet. Very
nothing
tragic.
yet, but we'll get Revenge of the Gator and other
Hopefully.
stuff soon.
Mhm.
Well, we'll get them.
Next,
Probably a Pokemon Pinball if they're doing trading card game.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
That'd
hopefully
be great.
with vibration. I know.
The vibration should work.
We'll get into that next, but Game Boy Advance also happened. This is the
Let's do
launch.
Game Boy Advance games.
This is the launch lineup for Game Boy Advance: Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, which importantly includes all of the e-reader content, just like the Wii U Virtual Console version. WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games, Kuru 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 Rin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Future
I think
games,
this is a great launch lineup.
Yeah.
Future
I think
games,
these are all absolute bangers except for Mario Kart Super Circuit.
Yeah, I feel
Correct.
exactly that way. And Mario Kart's just like an obligatory. You have to have it.
It's not. There's nothing bad about it.
But the rest of them are genuinely like I am so excited to play all 5 of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
future
some banger games.
What's up?
There's some banger games, but also like 6 games at launch.
Yeah, it's a dinky
It's a
dinky lineup.
Smaller
It's a
lineup,
really
but I
small
think it's a
lineup,
very high
but-
quality launch lineup.
I think
They're
in
bigger
fairness, the fact
games.
that they launched 2 systems at once though does make it more forgivable.
Yeah.
I guess.
I am glad.
But-
that
Also, WarioWare is like 200 games in one.
Oh, true.
I am
True.
I am very glad that Game Boy Advance supports 4-player. That would have been very disappointing if that weren't the case. It's just for Mario Bros. Alone.
Just for 4 swords.
Yeah, that too. The other thing is some of the upcoming games for GBA. I know Golden Sun was one of them. Fire Emblem was one of them.
Yeah, I had it up. I can just pull it up in 2 seconds.
Yeah. The reason I was
Zero maximum velocity.
It's
F-Zero.
Metroid Fusion, Kirby
Fusion.
Amazing Mirror,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, F-Zero, Golden Sun. Yeah.
So I'm someone who hates Amazing Mirror with a bloody passion.
I liked it as a kid.
Even that game, I'm very curious to play in a 4-player online.
Yeah,
because
I
never got to
don't
have
like that
experience.
game either. But yeah, just the there's just an inherent novelty to being
that
able
is
to
very
finally
cool.
play it in 4-player, huh?
Yeah, and also like Mario Kart Super Circuit was one of the few GBA games that supported like single pack multiplayer, and everybody I think had to be Shy Guy or something like that. Kind of similar to the DS version with the download play, but now you can play the full game in 4-player in a very convenient way because that was very inconvenient on original hardware.
Yeah.
You needed 4 Game Boy Advances, a 4-player link cable, and 4 copies of the game to have the full, multiplayer experience.
Now you just
this
need your Nintendo Switch and a subscription.
This is off topic, but if we could like if there was like a Nintendo Switch online exclusive thing, or even if a paid thing of like they have the Game Boy Advance emulator now.
Yep.
Can we have Four Swords Adventures?
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
With the GBA.
Yeah, it would be an
that would be
interesting. I
amazing.
feel like that game would do better as just them remaking it in a way that it just kind of all works natively.
Yeah.
But
But like I would love to play that again.
the what game do you guys think that I played the most on GBA so far? Should not be a surprise.
WarioWare.
WarioWare.
What was it? What was Mina's guess?
WarioWare?
What was Mina's
Yeah,
guess?
WarioWare.
WarioWare. You're all wrong. It's Kururin.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It's fun.
I mean,
Kururin
I
is
think
like
that's
2
kind of been a
hours
lot of
long.
people. I think that game's been taking a lot of people by surprise because
Yeah, because no one played
Yeah.
it before.
I've
I
wanted
only
to
knew
play
of it because of the stupid assist trophy in Smash Brothers.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
otherwise,
Mhm.
I had never I did not know what the hell this was, and it's a blast. It really is.
It's a-
Have y'all played it in multiplayer? Because it's
No,
not yet.
really fun in multiplayer too.
I didn't know until we
Huh.
were talking that it actually had multiplayer.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Because what you're doing is you're like racing. Whoever gets to the end first.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a blast. I would.
It's a
highly
lot
recommend
like Monkey Ball, and like it's just like addictiveness of like getting the levels and being precise.
Yeah, it's very
Mhm,
simple
mhm.
and in the best possible way. I have the second, I believe it's the European Kururin Paradise. Excuse me, on
Hmm.
GBA.
There's a sequel?
There are a few
There's
sequels.
2
There's a GameCube
sequels.
one. There's a
Holy
GameCube one
shit.
as well.
How did this game get sequels?
So
It
Europe,
was popular.
Europe got both Game Boy Advance ones, I want to say, and then Japan is the only one who got the GameCube version, on which I would love to see make it here in some form. But just having, I know Kururin was also available on Wii U Virtual Console, but that they put it as a launch title and gave it its time in the sun for the Game Boy Advance launch lineup, I think is fantastic. I'm really excited about it, and I'm glad to have a very convenient way to play it.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say it's one of
also
those like cute things they can add. That's like, hey, this is in English, but you never had it before.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
that'd be
importantly, both Game Boy and Game Boy Advance do have that option that the N64 NSO provides, which is you can have the European versions visible as well. So multi-language versions, especially when if it comes to Pokemon or however that plays out, will be good for that.
Yeah, that would be nice to have.
If anyone
for sure.
remembers the 3DS Virtual Console situation where it's like Pokemon Yellow Italian, Pokemon Yellow French.
Each one was an individual purchase on the eShop. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was very silly.
I am really excited to play
another-
Superstar Saga again.
Yeah.
Another great Shadow Drop. Surely this is the last one.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, it must be.
right before we get to that, I think it's very funny that Game Boy Advance Virtual Console came out now that Advance Wars 1+2 is finally about to come out.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
That means we'll get Advance Wars on there in like 2 years.
Yeah, like Link's Awakening DX is finally here after the Link's Awakening remake from like several years ago. So if anyone thinks that you're getting Advance Wars on this soon, I would say
wait 2 to 3 years.
Try again, try again later.
No, Mario Party, they only made you wait a year.
Just wait.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Mario Party 3.
Where's my e-reader support on GBA?
Yeah.
So, anyway, next, like Mina was saying.
Oh, is that literally the next thing in the direct?
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I got a quick yes or no question. You're not allowed to elaborate. You have to say yes or no gut feeling. You ready?
Okay.
Yep.
Mother 3 or no?
No.
Yes!
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
that's it. Keep going.
Wait for if it's.
If it'll be on GBA NSO.
Oh
in
no,
America,
no,
will they
no,
do it?
no
Will they
chance,
do it?
no shot.
I
no shot.
guarantee it. In fact.
No shot.
No shot. But
I'm going with no shot.
I think yes.
damn, we're
Thank
split down
you.
the middle.
No, we're not. That's 2 versus 3.
Oh, right.
I'm
Sorry, I
telling you,
forgot.
as
Silence.
even as we can get.
Silence.
And I'm worth 2 votes. So,
So as soon as they get done with GB and GBA in like one of those little highlight segments, they just casually go to another highlight, and it's Metroid Prime Remastered.
How was
A
this
game that could have
headline?
closed the show.
This was just one of the headlines. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
it was just a headline. So this is the rumored remaster of, which, I mean, full graphical remake, I think, is
Yeah,
most accurate
remaster does
way.
not do it justice. This thing is gorgeous.
Retro developed along with some other supporting studios, including Iron Galaxy.
It seems like Iron Galaxy did a lot too, which is they do good.
And so this is just Metroid Prime 1. It's got 4 control schemes. It's got a bunch of new accessibility options. It's $40 and it's out now.
Yeah, great price.
This has to be like the story of the Direct, actually, though, right?
No, I don't think anyone was expecting them to shadow drop Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
Just
it went to the top of the eShop so quickly.
Yeah,
I was starting to like not even believe it.
Yeah, I thought it was like a fake thing.
They had the audacity to shadow drop it. I will say, can I have a quick tangent?
Sure.
Do you think this means anything for Prime 4? Because I genuinely believe that... Because the thing is, they've been sitting on this game for 2 years. We know that they wrapped up development on this game in summer of 2021, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I have to ask you, why would they drop this out of the blue if they were not ramping up for Prime 4? I sincerely believe that I think we hear about it.
I feel it's possible.
Does that mean... Do you think they'll get Prime 2 and 3 out before 4?
No.
I've been wondering about 2 and 3.
I don't think they're
I'm
gonna
not
do that.
sure.
I think Prime 4 will be out before we see further so Emily's original information on that was that originally they were doing all 3, but at some point Prime 4 was rebooted and Retro was put in charge of it, and they decided that they were going to have them finish out Prime 1, and that 2 and 3 could come later with using Prime 1 as a template, but possibly not Retro actually doing them themselves.
Yeah, so like Iron Galaxy maybe.
Right.
I mean, if they wrapped on Metroid Prime 1 in 2021, I could kind of see this meaning more that Iron Galaxy finished 2 and 3.
Yeah, or they're getting
and
close.
Those are, and not necessarily that 4 is super close.
I think the earliest I could see for 4 still is the end of this year. I still feel like
that's what I mean.
Do you think it could be the big holiday game?
I genuinely think so. I think it could
be a holiday game. Yeah,
maybe not like the big, like especially if it's like a 2D Mario or something, but it's gonna be a big deal. Like, and it's I think it easily could carry their holiday.
It was a very interesting choice to announce and then shadow drop the game in February on that day, and then the physical version like 2 weeks later out of nowhere. That's a very interesting choice.
There was a fake Advance Wars leak that said that they would do that.
Yeah,
but everyone was like,
"No,
that's impossible. You can't shadow drop a game that's also going to be physical." Turns out you can.
Turns out you can.
Turns out you can. Yeah.
It's really weird that. Isn't the game dropping on like a Wednesday or something?
Yeah, it's literally 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks after the Direct.
That's so weird.
Weird. I mean, I guess they wanted it out as early as possible without risking it leaking, basically.
Sure.
They didn't want people to know it would be out soon, but they wanted to have it out at ASAP. Because obviously, if they did same day shadow drop, then you would have got the leaks. Oh, we have Metroid Prime in our store right now, right?
Right. I would say this, as soon as they hesitated on that screen that was going to show the release, like the red banner went over and they were still talking, I'm like, this is coming out right now.
I actually thought it was going to be shadowed up right from the beginning, because at the beginning of the trailer it says drop imminent or something like that, and I'm like,
yeah, there's that baby. Too. It's
baby, it's coming out today.
but when they did that thing with the hesitation for where they would show the release date information, I'm like, this thing is out right now. And it's wild to me that we are shadow dropping Metroid Prime.
That has to be one of the greatest shadow drops ever, right?
That's wild.
Very exciting.
This is up there, like, holy moly.
Yeah. And I've heard very good things about this so far. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm gonna get the retail one.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in its own podcast. But I've played like half the game and it's amazing.
I think people would have been a lot more annoying about the game had it not been a shadow drop. I think the shadow drop has actually done a lot to decrease the negativity on the game, because instead of whining about how certain, like, the doors looking different, people are just playing the damn game. You know?
Yeah. The infrared vision does look bad, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've heard
I mean, that's not just the case with this. I mean, talk about Hi-Fi Rush and how it was shadow dropped. Like, shadow dropping games
can work really well sometimes.
If you have a good game, maybe sometimes shadow dropping it can be pretty good.
Yeah, especially like if it's I mean, for Hyper Rush, it's like this is an unknown quantity, so hey, go play it right now is very exciting. And for Prime, it's kind of the
I think it
opposite.
works
It's
both
like,
ways, right? Hi-Fi Rush was this unknown quantity, and so it's just like, hey, go play it on Game Pass right now. And Metroid Prime is this thing of like, you know how damn good it is, go play it right now.
you know this rules,
Yeah.
and now you know it looks better.
Yeah.
Go play it again. And it's
It
40
works
bucks.
both ways, and it kind of makes me feel like Shadow Drops are kind of like secretly the story of the year so far, right? Of just like, damn, Shadow Drops have just been really good this year.
To be fair, though, the shadow dropping an unknown quantity helps a lot when it's coming out on like a subscription
Pass.
service.
Right.
that's
Yeah.
easy,
Game
yeah.
And
Pass,
also
like-
when your key staff is like Shinji Mikami. It's an unknown quantity, but it's not like, you know.
I do think that shadow drops, just by their very nature, are cool because there's no hype cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Short of the hype cycle that comes from, leakers or whatever,
Yeah,
which is not a real hype cycle.
Yeah, don't
honestly.
look at leaks. Just
I'm surprised
for
that
your health.
I'm surprised that it's $40. I'm just gonna say it.
Great price.
I was expecting
Same
it to be
price as
full
Etrian
price.
Odyssey 1.
It's more effort. Like it's more of a remake than Skyward Sword is, and that was 60.
Yeah.
It makes that look like more of a ripoff.
Yeah, I'm just genuinely surprised that they went for 40 on that. I wasn't expecting that. It's a very high value release, I would say.
Yeah. No, I might not have gotten it if it was 60. Like 40 was like, okay, I can.
Yeah. Next game, Master Detective Archives Raincode. I know that Drago, if Drago were here, isn't this like his game of eternity?
I'm sure he's interested in it because it's Kodaka, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we already talked about it when it was revealed. I don't have anything new to say about it. I think it looks cool. It's probably gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, it looks neat. I usually don't play those kind of games, but it looks cool.
I like Danganronpa, and Kodaka's got an interesting brain, I would say. So
this studio made World's End Club, and that wasn't amazing. But then on the other hand, AI Somnium Files is great, right? So I could see I because it's like this seems kind of like a direct successor almost to Danganronpa. I think it'll be good. But
it definitely has
impressions.
It definitely has a lot of character.
Did this studio also make Somnium Files?
No.
Well, it's like they didn't make Somnium. Like it's weird. They have like a shell studio, I guess, that has Kodaka and what's the Somnium Files guy?
Uchikoshi.
Yeah, Uchikoshi. They have this studio called 2Kyo Games together, and so they're the core staff, and then they work with like Spike Chunsoft to make
interesting.
Yeah.
Right, and they used to just work for Spike Chunsoft proper.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Still do. Like, I'm actually pretty sure that that Somnium Files isn't 2Kyo. I think that is just
really? Okay.
Chunsoft.
I got my wires crossed, but
World's End Club and
them,
Raincode. Yeah, World's End Club and Raincode are both them. And there was that other thing, Death Come True, the like live action thing.
Yep.
That I haven't played.
Like an anime. They're a weird studio.
No, it's it's live action. Like it's
no. I'm saying they also made an anime.
Separately. Right. Oh
yeah,
goodness. What was it? Akudama.
Yeah.
Akudama Drive.
Akudama Drive.
Yeah.
Because it's Danganronpa.
Style,
like it looks very Danganronpa. The characters look so Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, down to the kid having the spiky hair thing.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely think that they're gonna like tie this into the Danganronpa universe in some way. Simply because the protagonist has that little whooshy hair thing.
So next thing, Batten Kaitos 1+2 is real.
I wish this didn't get leaked.
I think didn't someone? I know that was rumored. I don't know if there was
Here's
a
the
proper
thing.
leak.
Don't look at leaks.
was
You have a much better
rumored.
direct experience.
It got leaked like a month ago by someone, but they had only said one, so that was exciting. But then the day of the direct, the key art for it leaked, and it was, so it was
Okay.
Button Kaito's
It's
one.
just like I know Samba de Amigo got leaked like the day of.
You
the
know what?
direct,
I always thought Baten Kaitos was like a third person like card battle. I didn't realize it had like the fixed camera angles. I guess like I had known about the game before, but I had never actually seen footage of it.
Oh no, it's like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah,
but
well, I
with
knew the combat
cards.
was, but I thought like the overworld segment was like kind of like third person, more like open. So
No,
it's like very much like Resident Evil style
One
camera.
of my
Final
friends
Fantasy
said
VII.
that the second game, Button Kaito's Origins, is what it used to be called.
Mm-hmm.
In the West. One of my friends told me it's their favorite Monolith Soft game, like
Wow.
period.
Yeah, I heard they're really cool
Interesting.
games.
I've heard 2 is much better than the first.
Yeah, like the way it was described to me is one is like a solid 8 out of 10, and the second game is a 10 out of 10. That is how it was described to me.
I know that there's
cool.
some QOL stuff that they're adding for this one. I'm curious if any of the systems that they kind of like upgraded or tweaked for the second game might make it back to the first game or not.
Are you surprised this isn't Nintendo published?
Well, Namco owns the rights, I think.
Yeah, Namco.
Yeah, but I think on the second
I
game
think they co-own the rights.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not entirely. I figured it was. I kind of had it as a 50-50 for me if Bamco or Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
it, so
Nintendo is on there too.
Yeah. And that is
cool. I like the card. The card battle looks fun.
This game, if I'm correct, this game is Switch only.
Yes,
because of the
wow.
Which makes sense because Monolith Soft is owned by Nintendo.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
and the rights are co-owned. So
did Monolith help with this?
We don't
remake?
know.
Okay.
We don't know if Bamco made this. We don't know if Monolith Soft is making this themselves.
Very
the original rumor that leaked it said it was Monolith Soft.
Yeah.
But officially, we don't know yet. So who's to say, really?
And yeah, I guess like Bayonetta, like the publishing could have gone either way, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm excited to try this out though, because again, the way people talk about Origins is like, oh damn, I really should play that, huh? So I'm kind of intrigued by it. It's such a cool remaster though, for sure. It's like never saw that in a million years coming, you know.
The next game is one I never saw coming in a million years.
This is so exciting to me.
Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. We're getting a proper Fantasy Life sequel in 2023.
This looks great, and it looks a little bit inspired by New Horizons.
Oh, and not a little bit, a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
It wears it on its sleeve, but that's okay with me.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Level
Like
5.
that audience wants a new thing.
Yeah.
I was so sad when Fantasy Life 2 got announced that it was for mobile.
Yeah.
It was the most depressing announcement ever. And finally, after years, they finally made up for it, and it's on Switch, and we're excited. It's just
it looks cute.
I had a lot of friends who really loved Fantasy Life 1 on 3DS. At first, I'm not super familiar with Fantasy Life 1. I think I played the demo for it like forever ago. So I wasn't sure at first with this one if it was just going to be a remaster or if it was going to be a sequel, but I'm very happy that it's straight up a sequel.
Brand new game.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
And then level 5 was like, no, actually, there's a little bit more. And we're getting a proper Professor Layton sequel, Professor Layton in the New World of Steam.
This was the level 5
back
direct.
In town, baby.
Yeah, this is the level 5
This was the
direct.
level 5 direct.
Yeah,
like
they are back.
It feels like they never left, right? Like it just feels like
it definitely feels like they left.
They definitely left.
No, I don't mean like that we haven't felt their absence. I mean the fact that they're publishing so many games, they're making it seem like nothing was ever wrong the last couple of years.
Yeah,
you know, just like
their pipeline wasn't messed up.
Right. It like the way that they're publishing so many games, it's like, oh no, don't. Those last couple years they didn't exist. Don't worry, we've always been here. You know, nothing ever went wrong with us.
I think, if I remember correctly, I believe Rogers Base started sobbing at Professor Layton.
I mean, Layton means a lot to a lot of people, honestly. So I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
I don't even mean that in like a mocking way. I just was like, that was like a big announcement for a lot of people. I've played a little bit of Layton and have enjoyed it. I know of people who really like Layton. I know of people who are like not super into games who were into Layton. So
I've never tried a Layton.
I was happy to see a fully new one, and not like, I think that what was the last one was like Layton's daughter or whatever.
Yeah, it was Catriel.
Yeah, which I don't know how that one was.
I
Not
think
very
it's
good.
largely
Oh.
meh reception.
Gotcha.
This
So,
was
like,
another series that they announced a mobile game as like the next big thing for the series.
yeah,
A long
did.
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was Catriel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And ended up coming
No,
out
it
on-
was like, I just remember one graphic from it that was like,
There was a Layton mobile game called like Layton Brothers Mystery something or another, but that came out like a long time ago. Like
it ended up getting canceled and like, let's see.
Yeah, so level 5 has had like a fraught history with mobile. Like,
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
after the 3DS, they tried to pivot to mobile, and it just didn't work. And that's probably why they were so fucked for so many years, right?
Yeah. I mean, you had
Yeah.
the Yokai 4 thing. You had Snack World, which I don't know how that did for them.
Oh, I
Bad.
forgot about Snack World.
It could
I
not
didn't
Very
play
well.
that.
Very, very, very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
level 5 is, they tend to put all their eggs in a basket, and if they're making a game, then they're making an anime, and they're making this whole like set of merch, and like it's a multimedia thing for them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it goes bad, it goes bad.
They have so
Um,
many
I-
like, I don't know, beloved games.
I hope
Oh,
this is a sign.
people liked the Inazuma game that other year.
Oh yeah, Inazuma 11.
Do you
I
think
didn't realize they did
Inazuma
come
11
out.
Aries is coming out this year?
Yeah, I know they.
Or is it getting delayed again?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I hope it's finally coming out, because like
Yeah.
I hope they don't just have it like over their head for so long. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
They need to
but-
get it out at some point.
Oh,
like the
wait.
tie anime for that game came out in 2018.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking of Inazuma. I was thinking about Captain Tsubasa. Never mind that comment.
Oh, well, it's still fair because Inazuma is still not out. So.
Yeah, so it's like I hope that this is a sign that like that they are in a good place again, that they can regularly release games again, and I really, really hope that this venture on Switch is successful for them, so that way they don't have to go to the dredges that are mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
You know?
hope Fantasy Life is good.
Well, I think with especially with level 5 and some of the other stuff that was in this direct, a good chunk of this direct was very like handheld oriented. Obviously you had Game Boy Advance, but level 5's Fantasy Life sequel, a Professor Layton sequel. We got Fashion
Trick?
Dreamer. Yeah, we got Ghost Trick remaster. We got Fashion Dreamer, which is itself basically a style savvy sequel. Which I think is great. I'm glad to see some of those smaller, not necessarily like majorly smaller, but like some of the smaller stuff from handheld making a return. I just wish that Fashion Dreamer could have been Style Savvy 5, but whatever. And yeah, Professor Layton is sort of like the ultimate like cap to end that. It's
you even
like,
got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games.
yeah, exactly.
And Advance Wars.
And Advance Wars.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
believe I forgot Advance Wars. Yeah, exactly. So it's like all of that sort of goes
Ghost
well
Trick?
together.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good trick.
So then we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 4 teaser.
Yes.
Yoshi's Island Course, which I'm very excited about.
It looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous
Wow.
looking. It is
that's
actually
the
Yoshi's
coolest
Island.
track
It's not
I've seen.
Yoshi Circuit, where it's the only thing that has to do
Yeah.
with Yoshi is that the track is in the shape of Yoshi.
It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's
Yep.
so. Why is every Mario Kart Booster Course wave so much like better than the last?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It
then
is
It-
really
it's
Because the first
fascinating.
one set your expectations really low.
It's just so vivid and like
yeah. And then
love
we're
the
getting
colors.
Birdo as a returning
We're getting
character.
Birdo,
And-
which is a character who. How is
and-
she not there already?
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ!
But then also
But glad
a
to have her.
commitment to more returning characters in future waves. So I know a lot of
Yeah.
people were hoping for additional characters
I feel
for
like
Mario Kart.
each
and here we
wave
are.
like breaks the conceptions. Like the first wave was like, oh, they're not gonna add any new features,
Right.
and then they add half pipes, and then they're
Yep.
like, oh, they're never gonna add new characters, and they add a new character.
Yeah, and like last time
Shit,
they
we're
were
gonna
like,
get,
by the
new
way,
items.
yeah, they were like, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
we
new
have a
items.
master item switch now, like randomly. So
I wonder if do you think Mario Kart Tour counts as a returning Mario Kart?
we were talking about that the other day. I know some people were saying that for the purposes of this, Nintendo considers it a quote unquote past Mario Kart
Yeah,
game.
because like that's how they consider the tour tracks, right?
Right.
Is like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we
will
kind
say
of
like this Yoshi track is gonna come out in tour as well, but it
Yeah.
counts as a new track here.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
but they count what they do with those is like anything that's a city, like London,
Yeah,
New
the
York,
city
it
tracks
counts
are
tour.
tour.
But
yeah.
then anything that is like original, like Merry Mountain or
Yeah.
Ninja, what is it, Ninja
Ninja
Hideaway?
Hideout,
Hideaway.
yeah.
Ninja
Ninja-
Hideout.
They count that as new,
Yeah.
and some of them are just straight up new, right? Like this is straight up new,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's new, but it's gonna be in both.
but it's gonna be
Yeah.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
what they did in Wave 2 or something. That
Yeah. Sky High Sunday.
Yeah,
debuted
yeah.
First
Mhm.
in 8, and recently in Mario Kart Tour we got the that underwater ruins course with all the PD Piranha iconography, which is also new. And probably
Oh,
won't show
fun.
up in this wave, but it'll have shown up in Mario Kart Tour first, and will make its
Mhm.
way to 8. I know for shorthand
cool.
we usually call them the Tour Nitros, just because they're like, they're new courses. And I know Wave 6, the slots line up to have a good number of those. So I'm curious to see what else they've got coming, but it's very nice to see a proper Yoshi's Island course.
Yeah.
I mean, they even made sure that the coins have the Yoshi faces on them like they are in
I love the little question mark clouds.
yeah, and the expanding staircase with the sound effect, and
Great.
looks
And
absolutely
most
fantastic.
importantly, Poochy.
Poochy, true. Poochy is there as well.
Ooh,
Poochy is there.
Very,
And all
very
the-
excited
all
about
of the
that.
enemies, the big fat chicken thing.
Oh, you mean Leon from Twitter?
the Bert, the bashful. I think little guys were there too. I can't remember.
They should have made Poochie drive a car.
They should
They
have.
should
Put
have.
him,
They
put
should have
him
got
in a
Poochy this
racing
wave.
seat.
Would have had Birdo and Poochy. I'm just glad that we're getting some characters. I'm hoping that we can get some of the new ones that got added into her, like Kamek and King Babam and stuff like that. But we'll see.
I do think people. I know that they've been very surprising with what they've put in Mario the booster pack DLC so far.
Yeah.
But I also think it's important to remember with all the starry-eyed wishful thinking with characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 packs left after this one.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get my hopes super high.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that it has enough to make the character select screen even, which would need 6. I'm not hopeful for it, but 2 per wave doesn't sound that crazy to me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're getting one this wave probably.
I mean, we've only gotten 1 course revealed.
Yeah,
so
we don't know what this track's gonna. I mean,
They-
I
could have
don't really
another
think there's gonna be
one.
more than Birdo, but I
They
do
said
think.
they said in it that it's 8 tracks plus 1 character.
Oh.
that was only the European direct. We
So-
don't count that.
We don't count that. Europe is
No,
not
you're
canon.
You're probably right. It is probably just 1, but
Yeah.
I'm still gonna dream.
To me, the takeaway was that future waves will have more characters. That's all I needed to hear. Even if it's just one, even if it's just 1 per wave,
1 each.
I'm fine.
That's at least something,
We
right?
can still Honey Queen still
It's
has
more
a
than we
chance.
thought, right? It's more than we thought, which is always good.
In respect to my sleep schedule, can we skip the
I was just gonna talk
so-
the next
very
montage?
very quick. We had
But it
a
was
montage.
just a montage, but there was
Um,
e-baseball, and we loved that.
Yeah, we got
so
the baseball's $1. Grab the
E-baseball
baseball.
shadow dropped actually.
It's $1.
Shout out for
$1.
99 cents.
Go grab it.
Have a Nice Death is cool. I'm looking forward to Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, another handheld oriented title. Blanca's neat. Minecraft Legends is a game. Disney Dreamlight Valley. I know a bunch of people who really are into that. Has anyone here played that?
No,
Nope.
my girlfriend's sister loves it though. She plays it all the
Okay.
time.
Tales Remastered, which still looks very not great to me. Um, and then we end on Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom with a longer trailer this time.
The Legend of
Um,
Zelda
Ooh,
Nuts
two-
and Bolts, I think.
Look pretty good. Have a good
2
night,
whole
everybody.
minutes.
Yeah, it was not 15 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah,
We
this is
had
the first time we felt like we actually got gameplay.
we had
It was this is what I would call the first trailer of the game.
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
were all teasers. This was the first trailer.
I'm
Yeah.
happy that they're not trying to show too much of the game in advance, but I do feel like at this point this trailer should have been a bit more substantial than it was, or at least this trailer should have been in the
I'm glad
last
it wasn't.
direct.
To be honest,
I
I'm
just
at the
want to
point
have an
where, like-
idea for how it differentiates itself from the original
I kind of
game.
don't want that. I kind of just want to grab this game and
Hey,
just.
I
I
mean,
would have wanted that like a year ago, maybe. But
Yeah.
to me now, it's like we're so close to the game. Do I care what they show me? You know?
Yeah.
Like at this point, just let me experience it in the game. Like
Yeah.
I want all the
it's just-
surprises.
Yeah.
I really, with the way that they've handled talking about this game and the lead up to it, it really feels like it's something that the team doesn't really want to show anybody. And I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, I'm sure the game
I
is
think they
very
just don't want to
good.
spoil anyone.
They just don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything from it, and like, but they know they have to like throw something together
Yeah, like,
every time
there's
there's
just-
a direct.
know that they have obligations to show it, but they don't want to because
Yeah.
So it's like they're giving you the smallest glimpses that their bare minimum obligations,
It
right?
looks so
Which I
good.
think because the game is gonna sell 20 million copies day one, basically.
Yeah.
Not literally,
Yeah.
but pretty damn close to that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's going to be it is like one of the most hyped Nintendo games of all time. Like
It's
they don't have
easily
to
the
do
most hyped game of the
anything-
year.
Yeah, it's most likely game of the year. Like they don't have to do anything to sell
They-
this game.
Yeah.
And they know that, and they're taking advantage of that, and I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
honestly.
they are like
They're showing us some
dripping-
fun new weird things, like Link
tractor.
riding a grind rail.
Yep.
Uh,
The tractor, the what do you
the,
call
the
it?
vehicle stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the
Poochy, what were you saying?
drone.
I
Yeah,
do think I
go on.
want to go back to what you were saying, like just how they are dripping with confidence for this game that
Yep.
like they've never done before, because the game's $70.
$70.
Yep.
$70.
They're not showing the game, and it's $70. That's confidence.
That is
baby.
confidence.
They are
That is like
ballsy.
Yeah.
they know you are going to eat this up, and they're not wrong. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think this game is the same because it's in the same map? Well, let's show you some cool new weird stuff, and we're gonna tell you it's worth $10 more than you paid for the last one.
Yeah,
Boom.
like we don't even know at this point, like, are shrines here? Are dungeons like what are dungeons like this time?
Like we vaguely can guess that there's 7 main collectibles, but we don't know how we get them.
Yeah, we know that
Um,
there's a sky area, we know that there's underground stuff in some form.
It looks like there may be weapon crafting of some sorts.
Interesting.
The
Um,
game looks
didn't even catch
darker. There's a
that.
lot more enemies.
There Link
Lot
has
more
new
enemies.
powers that we're seeing, which is great. The
But that's
teleporting
the thing, right? It's like
cool.
every trailer has focused on something different. Like they showed. Do you remember the E3 2021 teaser? They showed some crazy, like wacky powers that Link now has,
Yeah.
and we're just not getting any of that expanded
Yeah.
upon.
Yeah.
And that's
Was
great.
not shown
I
again.
love that.
Yeah, he like went through like the bottom of that platform and up through the top.
It's
They-
honestly like I know some people are irritated at the approach, but genuinely I think that they are so savvy in how they just give just enough breadcrumbs that get the imagination going, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell is Link gonna do with all this bullshit that he
Yeah.
can do now?
Like what kind of cool stuff can I do with all these new tools
hmm
at my
They
disposal?
give you just enough breadcrumbs that it just gets the mind like racing.
Mhm.
Like
the
Mhm.
highlight of that trailer for me was Gleeok, by the way.
What's that?
Yeah.
The 3-headed dragon
Oh,
from
that's
Zelda
cool.
1. Yeah. I'm personally hoping that the underground sections are the dungeon sections like they are in
That would be
Zelda
cool.
1, where it's like you had the overworld and you had the underworld. I would love that. But
My
yeah,
area looks really like it looks more involved than I thought it would.
oh
it's-
yeah.
yeah,
It looks
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
Like, there's like you could see like a lot in like the far distance too.
yeah. There's a lot going on
You-
there.
Do you believe in playable Zelda? or
No.
at least Zelda taking an active role in the game.
I'll
No.
when I saw the trailer, you know that part where there's that like person who's like glowing, and I believe it was Zelda. My takeaway from the trailers, my like God's honest initial thought from the trailer was when she's falling with Link, she gets crushed by a boulder and dies, and that's her spirit.
I know some people are theorizing this is some Bionic Commando shit where she is the arm.
Oh God.
That would be
Oh.
hilarious.
God.
I'm genuinely, call me crazy, but I'm genuinely hopeful that she's. I'm not gonna say playable, okay? I'm not gonna say that she's playable. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I think she's gonna take an active role in the story. I really do.
Even-
I don't think she's just gonna be a damsel in distress, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if you've seen any of the things that have come out after it,
Yep.
but like, there was NOE posted a tweet of Zelda, and they made sure to point out, why is she holding the Sheikah slate? I wonder.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then there was
That's
also
not
a survey.
for her to hold.
Yeah, that's not for her to hold.
Why has she got it?
and so this, to me, the fact that they specifically point that out, I don't know. I think it means something. Maybe I'm wrong. But then there was also a survey that was like, it called it Link and Zelda's adventure. They didn't call it Link's adventure. They said Link and Zelda's adventure.
Yeah. I would like that.
I think there's enough, like, I don't know. I think that the cave thing is a fake out. I think they're gonna do something with her.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be disappointed, but we'll see.
I just thought it was hilarious imagining that like she just got crushed by a boulder immediately and died.
Yeah, that is very. It's very funny to imagine someone dying under the weight of a rock.
Yeah, true. True.
Can I will say something crazy though about that real quick. Genuinely, a core belief of mine. If the sequel to this game doesn't have Zelda as an active participant in the story, I think a sequel is fucking worthless. Like,
Damn.
genuinely. I'm still gonna play it, I'm still gonna like it. But
You mean Breath of the Wild 3?
I guess. I don't know. I think to me that was one of the things that excited me most about a sequel is okay, well, we saved Zelda, now what? You know?
Right.
And we'll see. I don't know.
It was nice, if nothing else, too. Like, she also takes an active role in Age of Calamity, which is kind of cool. Obviously, that's a different type of game entirely, but
she was great in there.
Yeah.
You know?
So I would like to see her take a larger role in the sequel, and it would be kind of a very interesting way to differentiate it from the first game. I know people are like mind poisoned by that like one comment that they're quote unquote reusing the world, which I still don't think means what people thought it meant. But
well, do we know if there's any different landscape now?
From what I understand, some of the stuff that they showed for the actual like area that was in the original game is changed. So like I still think it's going to be heavily remixed, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And then you also have the Sky World, and you have some sort of underground component.
There's one scene in the trailer where like, you know, Link's just running in the background. You can just see like these lines in the ground. What are they called?
Oh, like crop circles?
Not quite crop circles, but like these patterns in Nazarick line.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not smart enough.
Something, but you know, just like these patterns just embedded into the earth, and it's like,
right.
What's up with that?
I think someone pointed out that like there was an area shown from the main world that had a shrine entrance in the original game, and it does not.
Wow, it's incredible that someone just knows that by looking.
I know. That's why I was like, I would never be able to.
Yeah, you're just sitting there reading, and you're just like, no, idiot, there was a shrine there before.
Yeah. Like, how didn't you know?
Okay, I guess I am an idiot.
But like, I still suspect that the main, like the lower world, like the world that was in the first game, is going to be heavily adjusted and remixed.
Yeah, like new weapons or new camps and things, and obviously even just how you interact with the world will be so much different.
Yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be a Tears of the Kingdom direct?
No.
No.
I hope not. I think they might, but I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I could see it, but I'm hoping no.
They'll definitely like If they did do a Tears of the Kingdom quote unquote direct, I could very much see it simply being a single trailer, like kind of like the Mario movie direct, where it's like it's very short and it's just an avenue to debut like the final trailer for the game. That's all I could really see at the most.
And then like announce a DLC.
Yeah, and maybe have like the DLC announcement at the end of it because we all know it's getting an expansion pass.
Maybe have like a little bit of treehouse gameplay afterwards or something.
Yeah, like something tiny. I don't expect like a Animal Crossing New Horizons
Right.
direct level of like,
Blowout.
here's literally everything. Yeah. They've been very intentionally not saying much, and we're 3 months away from this game now. Exactly 3 months away from this game now if you're on the East Coast. So, I think, is it the 12th? April 12th? Is it
Yeah,
April?
it's the 12th.
Yeah, so we're exactly 3 months
May
away.
12th.
We finally got a trailer that wasn't 30 seconds. I feel like, we're not going to get anything
more.
particularly insane leading up. And let's keep in mind, Zelda is dropping in May, and we had Metroid Prime Shadow drop in a February.
Mhm.
I still think that first half is absolutely stacked. I think second half stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After Breath of the
definitely.
Wild's come out, they're gonna have some big stuff to show. I think.
I'm not going to get
Because-
too long in the tooth about it because we've been going on for a while, but there is a discussion to be had about what the
we have
second half
no
is gonna
dates
look like.
beyond Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
July is the most that the
Yeah,
release lineup
and
goes to.
usually in these early year directs, there is some sort of look at beyond halfway through the year. There's
They
like a
usually feel like they
September-
need to. They feel like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we have to tease something. We have to
Yeah.
tease Prime.
have
We have
the
to tease
Splatoon-
Breath of the
yeah.
Wild, and they're like, no, we
yeah.
don't need to tease. We don't need to tease jack
we had
shit
the
right now.
Splatoon 3 the Splatoon
Yeah.
3 tease at one point. We had the Xenoblade 3 tease for September. This time Pikmin 4 is the latest thing, and after July it's like complete mystery. So personally, I feel like they have a bunch of stuff coming for the second half. I think this year is going to be kind of nuts when you have Zelda just dropping in February, or excuse me, in April.
Yeah.
So I think if just to kind of transition to like kind of final thoughts, this was a pretty stacked direct. I know that a lot of it was like remasters and re-releases, which I think are more typical of the first half of the year. But there was plenty of like new stuff, especially with level 5, some expansions on stuff that we already had. And I think it just kind of sets the stage for a very packed first half of this year and a potentially wild second half of this year.
I refuse
Yeah.
to speculate about future directs less than
Yeah,
a week
let's
after
not
a
talk.
direct.
I'm
Yeah.
not even talking about future directs. I'm just talking about
I-
2023 in general.
Oh, my
okay.
sickness is fully back. I am all in.
Yeah.
I saw people speculating about an E3 direct
Oy.
before this direct happened,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
it gave me a real intense headache.
Yeah. I think
As far as I'm concerned, the second half, like everything after July, isn't real.
yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be real in a few months.
It'll be real in a few months whenever they talk about it. And I for my part, especially if you like RPGs, which thank God I'm not a filthy sinner, you're like
Well-
quadruple doomed on Switch every year because there's 10 million of those babies coming out.
There's
not enough
hours in the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, Poochy, Mina, final thoughts?
Great direct.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very happy with it.
Pacing was very good as well. I feel like that's worth
This was one of the
mentioning.
first times where it just felt like the headline, like there was not that many snoozers. Like there was a couple for sure, but like
Yeah.
not that many. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty exciting direct altogether, I would say.
Yeah,
I
we
will say
were-
after Pikmin 4, there was not a ton for me until like the halfway point, but then it really kicked into high gear till the end.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of a direct that is not only good, but manages to disappoint me and confuse me in spectacular ways. And Etrian Odyssey did that to me. So it's always nice when something comes out of left field and you find out that there is actually ways that you can be disappointed that you haven't experienced yet.
It teaches you about life and how life
Yeah,
tends to
exactly.
disappoint and upset you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, pretty good.
Life is one long Etrian odyssey,
Jesus
full of
Christ.
disappointments
And on that
in
note,
video games.
And it's most certainly not untold, much to everyone's disappointment.
Yeah.
But hey, Metroid Prime.
But hey, Metroid Prime.
But hey, Metroid Prime, go play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Not 4 though.
not 4.
Not that game that you heard about.
No.
Well, what
Just
is it, like
Metroid.
7 years ago now?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Feels
Wow.
like 7 years ago.
Yeah. But,
Hey, it's been 5.
God.
4. No, it's been 4. 2019. Well, okay, since the first.
The
Metroid
original.
Prime 4
First
was revealed in
announcement.
2017.
You count it since the reboot. Come on.
What? No. You
No.
cannot.
No, you counted
baby.
since announcement.
Yeah,
I
announcement.
think it's a little harsh.
No.
I don't think it is. You heard about it.
Yeah, they told us it was coming.
2017.
Yeah, and then they told us it got rebooted, so
No.
you reset the clock. Like,
No,
Remember when
that's
they
not fair.
remember when they announced Metroid Prime 4 so that people would be excited for Metroid and then also Metroid on 3DS on the same day? And then now
And then
it's 6
since then
years
we got
later.
another 2D Metroid.
Yep. And
We might
another
get
That was a
Metroid
pretty
Prime.
good game.
Yes. But yes. So yeah, great times. That's gonna be it for us this week. We'll be back with something else soon. All the normal stuff. Check out the Discord, check out YouTube, Spotify, all that fun stuff to listen. And thanks to Mina and Poochy for being with us here today. We will
Yeah.
see you
Thank you
guys
both so
again
much.
soon. Yeah. Catch you later. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.